Guys, what's going on? It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we are, guys. Here we are, right? And guys, it's almost Friday, right? I believe. Yeah, I think it is. I hope you guys' week hasn't been too crazy, right? Guys, here. I'm going to drop the link to the Discord to join. It's going to go in general, and it'll go in announcements. Guys, I think from now on, I'm going to drop it in announcements. That'll make it easier to find. All right? So, guys, I'll drop the link there first, and then for anyone else, I'll open it up here in a little bit. But, guys, let's okay, I'm going to make there's a couple news stories that I want to start with, guys. Now, this is actually a rather large topic, right? But, guys, hold on. Keyshawn, how you doing? Rajai, how you doing? And, guys, this is going to hint at a live that I'm going to do. I'll probably do this on Sunday, all right? On Sunday night. But, Rajai, how you doing? Kelvin, how you doing? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. C-Grip's here. What's up, C-Grip? Good to see you.
We are here building a new nation for black people.
It's time for you to start paying some dues, nigga.
I ain't giving you shit.
Laughing, man. What's going on? You know what? Here. I'm going to drop the link now for anyone who's coming up, because this is a pretty good topic to actually start out with, because I'm going to make the whole stream about this on Sunday. Red Pill Science, Jubilee, Radix, Brent, how you doing, guys? Laughing, man. What's going on, my brother? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Because here, let me pin this really fast. All right. Let's see. One second, guys. There we go. 1 second. Okay. Guys, I don't know who in the world still lives in New York City, right? These dunderheads who actually voted for Mamdani is absolutely insane. Okay? Oops, hold on.
Who the person I'm talking
yourself to the court as you request
reside
their way.
Okay. Yeah, guys.
I ran for mayor on an
Why
affordability.
would anyone? Okay, guys, if you are a white guy, okay, I want you to put a WG in this chat, okay? All you white dudes, right? Put a WG in this chat, okay? And then after that, I want you to let me know if you would live in New York City. Why? Why would anyone worth a damn? Because Zoran the moron literally just said that he's going to tax white people more than anyone else. Absolutely insane. Now, this isn't as bad as the UK literally admitting that there's a two-tiered justice system for white Christian people versus everyone else. But that's where it's going to lead in New York. And guys, I am black, all right? So let's break out the race card here, right? Let's break out the race card. Okay. Guys, judging people based on race, yeah, that's for poor and dumb people and lazy people. All right? Guys, when I say that over here and the red pill space, or at least on my channel, guys, we are a brotherhood, right? Guys, we have guys in here who are black, white, Hispanic, military, rich, poor, internationals, immigrants. Guys, we have everyone in here, but we're all men. And we have a shared experience. only dunderheaded, lazy morons and 304s judge each other and say, well, you white people have the white privilege. Duh.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Guys, this dunderhead is literally saying out of his mouth that you white people, and you all know, look, you don't see a single white person behind him, that you white dudes are cooked in New York, cooked. And guys, here's the crazy part about this, right? Guys, let me check my sound settings here to make sure that everything works. Guys, because we live in a country where the majority of people just happen to be white. I don't believe in white privilege. I believe in majority privilege. In any type of context, the majority will have certain privileges over the minority. That's not saying that you white people have it easy. What I'm saying is, like, there's lots of places that you can go in America where you see nothing but whites, in the same way where in China you see nothing but Chinese. How is that controversial? I don't understand. But guys, because the majority of people are white, it means that the majority of the top are white, and that the majority of people at the very bottom are white people. Put a 1 in this chat if you guys agree that the majority of people who occupy the bottom rungs of society, the homeless, the poor, the mentally ill, the disabled veterans missing legs, they're all white people. The opioid addicted rednecks out in the middle of the woods, the majority of them are white people. There are white people out there who, in the United States, who experience levels of poverty that the rest of us could never even dream of. Because I've driven through Appalachia. I've driven through, rural parts of the South. And these people are just, it's crazy living in tin shacks with no running water. It's crazy. And the white privilege. Please, what a joke. And this idiot, this dolt, this moron, right? This goof, this straight up said, oh, we're going to basically steal money from the whites to give to everyone else. As they've already been doing that to give it to illegals. Clown world. Why would anyone live in New York secret? Why?
It's not what it used to be.
Why would anyone in their right mind live in New York? What a joke. Hold on, guys. Here we go.
Of our city. This preliminary racial equity plan is the first step in developing a whole of government approach.
A racial equity plan. Look at that. Guys, come on. You guys know damn well that whites and Asians are not included in that racial equity plan.
To tackling that reality. It is a plan that lays out these first steps to solve decades of neglect and discrimination, and it places the work of 45 city agencies within a singular framework. Too often, the story of Black and brown New Yorkers is one of being forced to stretch that same dollar that little bit further.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Every year, as wages stagnate, as well as an exodus and exclusion continues to take place.
So as you just heard right there, Zohran Mamdani has announced that the city of New York has come up with their new real cost.
Guys, go to Actual Justice Warrior. Guys, he's one of the best political YouTubers there is. So guys, go and check him out, okay?
Cost of living metric for the city, which ends up
fair use, by the way, YouTube, fair use.
Showing that the overwhelming majority of people in the city of New York, greater than 3 in 5 New Yorkers, cannot afford the cost of living in the city. And guess what? Non-whites affected the most. Non-whites are the worst off because the city has a long history, centuries long, according to Mamdani, of evil white racism and divestment from the poor Black and brown communities in the city of New York.
Now, as we finalize this plan, we will continue to tackle our city's affordability crisis without turning away from the decades and frankly, centuries of disinvestment in black and brown New Yorkers.
Now, look, the cost of living in the city of New York is absolutely
absurd. And guys, hey, Seagate, a funny thing. Who runs New York City? Which party runs New York City?
Democrats.
Thank you very much. Gee, LA is really expensive too. Huh? Who runs LA?
Libertarians? No, I'm just joking. Democrats.
Seattle is one of the most expensive places.
Democrat.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts, guys? What a joke. What a joke.
outrageous. It is out of control, and it definitely is unaffordable for many of the residents that live in the city of New York. And we on this channel have talked about the reasons why repeatedly, probably more than anyone else on the internet.com, before Mamdani was even a U.S. citizen, before he was in government, before he was a blip on anyone's radar. And we actually address the real reasons for this. We don't blame evil white racism from the past. We actually talk about what's actually driving the cost of living, like excessive taxation. And we talked about the New York City income tax. It's one of the few cities in the entire nation with its own personal income tax, and how it kicks in at about $12,000 a year, and you're paying like 3% of your income on top of state income tax.
Whoa. Whoa, guys, look at that. Look at that. Look at that, just to live in the city. Holy moly. Guys, why? Why? Once again, guys, would you ever live in New York City? Yes or no in the chat. I'd rather live in BFE, Wyoming, BFE, Mississippi, or Alabama, as long as I get to keep my money, just to get stabbed by some freaking illegal.
And let's not forget state taxes also.
Yeah.
I just
county tax too.
Yep. I just met with a client today who sold his house last year, and he's now in Florida, and he said he should have did this years ago.
Nuts.
On top of federal income tax, in again your own city income tax, again at a very low point in terms of the income bracket. Now, Mamdani, of course, is in favor of raising these taxes, not lowering them. Now, progressives have lied to you throughout your whole life, saying that the income tax isn't so bad. And by the way, if we got rid of it, you would just have to pay a high sales tax. You would just have to pay higher fines and fees, all these different regressive taxes. But if we have the income tax, you don't need to worry about that. And that's why Democrats, if you guys don't know, are better for the everyday working person, because even though you pay income tax, that's disproportionately on the rich. Therefore, you can just skimp out on your sales zones. Yeah. But the fact is, this is
guys. You get the idea, right? It's all you evil white people's fault. All right, guys. What a joke! What a joke, guys. Have you guys ever heard people say like Christians, that the worst part about them is that they say God did it so they don't think critically? See, have you heard that in debates?
No.
Okay, so a lot of people say, oh, Christians are all dumb because they assume God did it. So they can't think critically because they presuppose the answer, right? And it's like, okay, let's say Mr. Lefty Left, Wokey Woke. Let's say that's true, right? Well, Wokey Wokes presuppose white people did it, right? Anything negative, white people did it. So how can they think critically about anything or ask any questions if they already assume they have the answer? And that's white people, right? What a joke. What a joke. You see what I'm saying? See, how are you going to come to a different level of understanding or ask any questions that could shift the paradigm of a certain like sociological or anthropological model if you just assume one thing, that white people did it? It's a joke.
It's just educationally, it's just ignorant.
Yeah.
And it's lazy. It's intellectually lazy.
Yep. And guys, once again, anyone that doesn't think that there's tons and tons of white people out there struggling, trying to pay the bills. What's crazy is people go, let's just say that all the white men have all the money, power, and all this other stuff. White dudes are getting divorced. That means that they have more to get cooked by the divorce court. That would actually be an advantage to be a man, to actually have less when you get cooked in a divorce. So it's actually a disadvantage, because I don't believe that. But what I'm saying is, per the wokey agenda, right? They act like everywhere you white dudes go, gold bars fall from the sky. It's just ridiculous. Asians too. Come on, man. So.
Head of San Francisco's Human Rights Commission has been charged with 17 felonies alleging financial misconduct in the way she used and distributed city funds while on the job.
4's Dan Kerman reports.
After being tipped by a whistleblower in an 18-month investigation, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins has filed 17 felony charges against Cheryl Davis.
Well.
Guys, put an NS for not surprised. How many times do I tell you guys? Right? You put a B-dub in charge of anything and you're cooked. And all these NGOs and human rights commissions and all these nonprofits are an absolute joke. We want our money back. What a joke. This has to be like that. At least thousands of these I've covered, right? Secret. Thousands of these. These chicks trying to run these organizations. They're always stealing, embezzling, mistreating their employees. What a joke.
Former executive director of San Francisco's Human Rights Commission, alleging financial misconduct in the way she distributed and used city funds for the Dreamkeeper Initiative, a program designed to reinvest in San Francisco's Black community.
The Dreamkeeper Initiative aims to reduce existing chronic disparities in home ownership by widening the path for historically undersourced communities. Come on.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
That means, guys, that they're going to use our taxpayers' dollars to help people get homes they can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone's supposed to have a house, guys. You know what I'm saying? And especially you're working at freaking at McDonald's and your wife works at Safeway. You're not supposed to have a house.
We have to hold government actors accountable. Certainly when they are abusing the trust of San Franciscans, when they are abusing taxpayer dollars. And in this case, using funds that were supposed to be targeted and given to the Black community to actually engage in a reinvestment and an uplifting of community to help children. And that money was lost.
And AJ.
Just like a woman, right? Just like a woman.
And listen to these names.
Guys, anyone who's coming up, I did drop the StreamYard link early, so anyone who's coming up, see it. You were saying? Sorry, buddy.
And listen to these names. The Dreamkeeper Initiative.
Yeah. Yep.
Feeding our future. The Lehren Center. they come up with these crazy names for that white guilt to get more money so they can fleece it in their pocket.
Yeah, but here's
it's
the
all
thing
a grip.
about, at least the Somali pirates are trying to hide stuff. These B-dubs, they're so stupid that they're just doing it straight out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying to hide it. You know? Just loud and proud.
Streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
Clown world.
from the community.
James Spingola, the former executive director of the nonprofit Collective
James Spingola. Oh,
Impact, which Davis used to run, was also.
Homegirl's got some yams, dude. How you doing? Look, she has a deep voice, but she has some cakes though. Even in that pantsuit.
Charged with 4 felonies. Prosecutors allege, in addition to misappropriating funds, Davis had numerous conflicts of interest.
Of course she did.
We did find that a portion of this money was spent in a manner that was self-dealing and was for her benefit and the benefit of her brand, ultimately her finances, and paid for things that it was not intended to be used for.
The charges are a distortion of the truth.
Yeah.
What they do is they make it look like Dr. Davis was
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to see.
Dr. Davis was misappropriating funds for her own benefit.
Hey guys, if you do need a lawyer, make sure. Let's just say make sure that this is a thing. I'm just saying, right? See grip, you know.
Davis's attorney, Tony Brass, says what actually happened was the city hired Davis, gave her no training in government work or managing city money, and now is blaming her.
So why'd she take the job? Oh, my God. My God, guys. Wait. They're trying to say she wasn't trained. It's the city's fault for giving her this job and not training her? Because is that not the most woman thing that you've ever heard in your entire life? Shirking every single form of accountability there is. Oh, it's their fault that they didn't tell me. They didn't train me and tell me that I'm not supposed to steal and misappropriate funds and spend it on myself. This is your fault, not. Oh my God. And guys, type demons in the chat. They're demons, man. Demons. What a joke. Secret, you were saying?
And I think black people make up 14% of the population.
13.5.
Yeah, and so what that means, black women, a little over 7%. And now you wonder why over 20% of them work for the city, state, and federal government.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're overly represented in this, and yet they only make up about 6% of the the private sector because they don't qualify.
Yep. True. And then they're all whining about not being able to find jobs. They literally cite that DEI is gone. It's like, bro, if you're literally saying the only reason why you got a job is because of DEI, it means that you're a useless piece of trash. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
It yields an imperfect result, but that's what it is. It's not felonious conduct.
The DA says the investigation is far from.
What a joke, guys! Here we have 2 more stories here, and then we'll get into this, guys. Look at
and AJ, and think about your agency and my company. We would be under a jail cell right now.
Yep.
San Quentin State Prison turns a male inmate into her sex slave.
Oh, there we go.
Now at 5, a female worker at San Quentin State Prison turns a male inmate into her sex slave. When the inmate
look at that. Look at that.
I gotta see this.
Look at that. Come on.
Tried to end the relationship. He was punished by the woman for months.
Our Braga de la Cruz walked.
Man, this chick's got that ice queen look going on. She's hot. Yeah, this is a type of chick that's an absolute demon in the sack. You know what I'm saying, guys? These are these control freak chicks. You know what I'm saying? Where the only place that they can let their freaking guard down is when you got them face down in the pillow.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
Us through the case, Veronica.
Yeah, Ken and Liz, this is the strangest twist yet on the Me Too movement. We've heard the stories about a person in power sexually abusing someone under their authority, but this time it happened at San Quentin.
Behind the walls of San Quentin, in a wing where prisoners receive vocational training, Inmate William Cordoba says a female staff member took advantage of her power and position. In his handwritten complaint, the convicted murderer says back in 2010, for a 3-month period, prison employee Sylvia Polito coerced me into being her sex slave.
The allegations included coerced acts of sexual intercourse.
There you go, guys. Once again, you know, if you guys ever need an attorney, make sure their name ends in. Hey, I'm just saying, in the same way that if you need a physicist or a mathematician, you know, their name should be an Asian. Hey, guys. Once again, diversity is what makes this country strong. Oh, yeah. Why do you think that we win the Summer Olympics? No, we win everything because we have Asians play ping pong. We have Jamal Jenkins run the 100 meter. We have the white dude throw the discus. Think about the Chinese trying to win the Summer Olympics. They have 5'2" Chin Wu trying to run against Usain Bolt. I mean, come on.
Lawyers Ben Rothstein and Julia Allen represented Cordoba at his trial. They say Polito, an instructor in the prison's janitorial training program, promised Cordoba favors for sex. Sex, they say, took place here in Polito's office at the prison.
She used her position of power as well as quid pro quo offers of favorable treatment and promises to get him an attorney and help him get out of jail.
And when Cordoba tried to break it off, she retaliated, firing him from his job as her clerk and accusing him of disciplinary violations that landed him in solitary confinement.
Damn, look at that. She got him sent to the hole. Guys, this is no joke. This is not funny. Guys, when you're in the hole, you're by yourself 23 hours a day. You have nothing to read other than like the Bible or the Quran. And you eat this nasty nutrition loaf stuff. Guys, this is no joke. This is not funny. You know what I'm saying?
And this is what happens when you don't lick your plate clean.
But guys, like they've done studies on long-term isolation. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why it's used as punishment, but he didn't do anything to deserve that punishment.
For 9 months.
It was a humiliating experience. He felt powerless and alone. And worst of all, he felt like there was nobody that he could talk to about this.
Polito has repeatedly denied the allegations, but a federal jury found in favor of Cordoba, awarding him $65,000 in compensatory and punitive damages.
When he got the verdict, he could not have looked happier.
At least he won, right? You know?
Polito is now working at Napa State Hospital, and Cordoba has been moved to a prison in Soledad. But
she kept her job. Guys, put a 1 if you agree that a guy, he would be buried under the jail.
The attorneys say the lesson is clear.
All people have the right to be free from sexual abuse. That includes women, that includes men, and that doesn't change just because somebody's incarcerated.
Now, Polito's attorney did not return our calls. It's not clear who will pay the $65,000 award, California's Department of Corrections or Polito herself. The state's Department of Corrections says it takes all sexual harassment complaints seriously. Veronica De La Cruz, KPIX 5.
All right, guys, we have one more story here. One more, all right, and then we'll get into the topic here, all right?
This investigation uncovered a prostitution operation and an alleged plot to dig up dirt on city officials. The woman at the center of it spoke with Fox 4 tonight.
I believe in justice, and I know that the truth will prevail like it always does.
That's Ashley Ketcherside, a convicted prostitute who in 2023 was removed from overseeing sex education at Godley ISD.
And now her husband is in legal trouble on prostitution.
Oh, wait, she's a convicted a 304 that was teaching sex ed? Wait, what? What is going on with... Where is this? Hold on. What is... Oh, Dallas, Fort Worth. Yikes, man.
Charges, as are Godley's former police chief and former police officer. Fox 4's David Sentendry live tonight with that interview and the details. And
Look at this guy. He looks like Pee Wee Herman with the tan.
Audrey case, David.
Well, there is a web of expanding allegations.
You're saying?
Yeah, he's not just a reporter, he's also a client.
Yeah, that's true.
Involving police officials, prostitution, and a whole lot more.
I have not spoken to them. I don't know what their investigation is or what is going on.
Ashley Ketcherside at the center of an ongoing prostitution conspiracy investigation by the Johnson County District Attorney's Office and Texas DPS. Her husband, Michael Ketcherside, charged with continuous promotion of prostitution. Former Godley Chief of Police, Matthew Cantrell, charged with promoting prostitution. Former Godley police officer, Solomon Omatoya, charged with soliciting prostitution. Was there prostitution between you, the former chief of police, and that officer?
Absolutely not.
We'll get back to that momentarily, but first, remember, in 2023, Fox 4 broke news that Ketcherside, a convicted prostitute advertising on escort websites, was volunteering on a Godley ISD committee, which, in part, designed sexual education curriculum.
I covered this story like a long time ago. I remember her face.
She was later removed from multiple positions within the school district.
I truly cannot believe that we're still dealing with this 3 years later.
Godley ISD trustee Kayla Lane blew the whistle to Fox 4.
Yeah, I remember this story.
We'll circle back to her soon. As for the current criminal investigation, are you active on any escort pages right now?
I'm not.
Court document.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Accused Ketcherside.
Guys, do you honestly believe that? Yes or no? Right?
And her husband of racketeering, operating an illegal business or scheme to make profit while involving coercion, fraud, or extortion. In defending her husband, she disputes the basis for those claims.
He's a great husband, an amazing father to me.
Why would he marry a former 304? Dude, how down bad do you have to be? Right?
I keep telling you,
married this chick. He literally tried to make a whore into a housewife. Wow, look at that. You're saying? Sorry.
Like I keep saying, these simps, they are legion.
That's crazy.
3 kids, and I believe in the justice system.
Investigators searched the Ketcherside's home last month. Court documents reveal they seized Ashley's burner phone and uncovered a large number of prostitution clients, including former Officer Omatoya, who solicited Ashley for sex in exchange for doing yard work and other.
So homeboy was pimping his wife out. Look at that.
Favors. Omatoya led investigators to former Chief Cantrell. According to the documents, investigators uncovered Godley police officers and their spouses would frequently spend time at Ashley and Michael's residence.
There was all kinds of freaky deaky going on, man.
Where Ashley was reportedly preparing another woman for prostitution.
Wow.
Former Chief Cantrell told investigators Ashley's common rate for sex was roughly $1,000 per hour, supporting details investigators found in her phone.
I feel that 2 consenting adults should be allowed to do whatever it is that they want to do.
You guys know what that means, right? You guys know what that means, right?
Y'all want to ask me what I'm doing? I'm outside hoeing. I work at hoeing. Y'all want to know what company I work at? I work at hoeing. That's the company I work at, hoeing.
What a story, dude.
That's how Ashley responded when asked about prostitution, but to be clear, she denies being a prostitute despite 2 previous convictions.
Look at that, guys! Look at that! She got busted for it, tried for it, convicted, but says, I am not a 304. Please!
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
What a joke!
She has not been arrested or charged in the current investigation, though the court documents do identify her as a co-defendant. She also wants to point out she's not a victim.
I was absolutely never trafficked.
This case, however, is about more than prostitution claims. Investigators believe the Ketchersides and former Chief Cantrell compiled information using police resources on local city and school district officials and private citizens who they perceived as adversaries.
Damn.
How they may have used that information is unclear. So at no point did you ask this chief of police or anyone within the Godley Police Department to get you records that weren't going through the correct avenues?
Absolutely not.
Solomon Omatoya told investigators his former chief pulled computerized criminal history records of people involved in a civil lawsuit with Ashley Ketcherside, according to court documents. Kayla Lane, the Godley ISD trustee, is alarmed by the alleged conspiracy.
I'm very glad that the district attorney's office has been taking this seriously. And so I have no doubt that there are more people involved.
Prosecutors say more arrests are anticipated, but despite the multiple arrests so far and sworn statements against Ketcherside to law enforcement, she maintains innocence.
I know that the truth will come out.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
What a joke. No, guys. Okay, so we're going to get to the Piers Morgan thing. But, guys, the whole OF thing, I just don't get. Guys, while we're talking about OF and Sophie Rain, all this stuff, I need you guys to code your language. Please, guys, please, all right? We could talk about crazy topics like this, okay? But, guys, I need you to code your language because I don't want the stream to get taken down, all right? So, guys, 1 second. Let's see here. Okay. Guys, I don't get OF, right? Adult stuff has been on the internet since the 90s for free. Like, what are you doing, right? You're going to give some harlot money? Are you serious? They said that this Sophie Rain chick has made over $100 million in 2 years. $100 million from simps. This is why I would say, guys, it's simps' fault. I don't even blame 304s. I blame simps. Now, guys, Florida brought up this guy. He's running for governor of Florida, I believe. This James Fishback guy. And he's a tradcon, right? But he was the one who was trying to say that there should be a sin tax where you charge OF chicks 50% of their income, right? Now, guys, I'm not for more taxes, but guys, you know what? We've shown that corn is a net harm to society, right? Especially excessive corn. Guys, please don't say the P word, okay? Type corn or adult content, please, okay? Secret. Isn't it crazy? They have proven that cigarettes and alcohol cause harm. They tax that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why not tax corn more?
I don't get it.
You know? Why not? Gambling, they tax gambling a lot. So why not tax corn? Why not? I don't see a problem with it.
Because it's women. And anything you do against women is the patriarchy. It's misogyny.
Yeah. Now, guys, this guy, he's a tradcon. Guys, the likes of which you've never seen. Watch.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Wait 1 second, AJ. Look at how bad these chicks were crashing out when OF said they were going to suspend saucy content. A couple of years ago, and they suspended it where it was like 10 days, and these chicks were crashing out.
Yep, that's true. Guys, I don't think people understand. Guys, I guess like 1 in 2 or over 1 in 2 people in illegal adult stuff, meaning like the trafficking, are women. All these madams, and who do you think gets these women to come to this stuff in the first place? Is other women, especially in Eastern Europe and all this other stuff. You know, everyone acts like it's just evil men, but there's a lot of women that are making money off this stuff and doing bad stuff to other women. You know, so here we go.
No, I'm gonna take care of you guys.
America.
Yeah.
Can we pull up the chart again? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Almost done.
Can I say real quick why they
why is this taking so long?
Why they want to. I don't understand OF either, but the reason why, a real more sinister reason why corn is free, because it's to degenerate everybody. It kind of degenerates sort of everybody in the end. We're all just weaker, busted nuts to like pixels on a screen. Then it creates kind of worship of women, but also not worship of women. It's actually kind of like satanic in a way.
No. The reason why corn is free is because it was just like when they did Napster and music started being free. They finally had the technology to share stuff that was in high demand for free. Well, one person pays for it and then shares it with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this has nothing to do with degeneracy, because they've had adult stuff for as long as there's been people have been able to tell dirty stories or draw dirty stuff on cave walls. You know what I'm saying? The guy, look, for men, sex is a necessary function. That's how it works, guys. When guys were out in the Roman legions out in the middle of nowhere, right? What do you think that they were looking at? They were either looking at adult stuff or they were at the brothel. You know what I'm saying? Because okay. My issue is people need to treat corn like it's gambling or anything else where it can be addictive and ruin your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between, you're a busy I didn't see the point in Women of the Night. I told you guys, until my one friend, he's an actor. Mm-hmm. He works full time. He doesn't have time to pick up chicks. He doesn't have time for it. So he does his acting gigs. He drives home. He has one waiting for him when he gets home. Knocks one out and gets out of there. And then she leaves. But he's better doing that than wasting his time trying to wine and dine some dunderheaded 304. He's busy. Think of snowboard. If your business takes off and you're making $3 million a year and you're working 16-hour days and you have a disposable income, you're making $400,000 a month, right? You couldn't tell me that you might go to some. I'm just saying.
I would dispose it on a 304's head. Oh!
but there are these sites where these women, they'll keep their mouth shut. They know the game. Like I said, this is not my thing because I'm just not in that whatever. But there are guys who do a cost-benefit analysis, right?
Yeah.
Like they have the money for it. It's the same as like guys who will buy it. I like cars. But I'm not gonna buy no Lambo or GT3 Porsche because I don't have the money for it. But a headlight bulb costs $1,700. No way, you know. But there are guys who that's like, for instance, these women
it's like
don't
the
get,
opposite of gambling. You know you're gonna get what you pay for.
Yes. Guys, once again, we aren't the moral police unless it comes to simping. You know, but guys, once again, if it's costing you less to pay some broad to come over and give you a blowy, hey man, you're actually saving money.
Better than free dates.
If your time is worth if Secret he's successful, Snowboard successful, I'm successful, Evil successful, Rad it's Lenny. As we're successful men, because we have to do a cost benefit analysis of our time.
Yep.
45 minutes banging out a 304 that's actually, maybe safe, or taking some broad out on 3 dates. Because I'm doing videos here soon on dating horror stories. You know what I'm saying? But I never got it until my friend had explained it to me on why he does this. He does it 3 times a month or whatever. Bing, bang, boom. You know what I'm saying? But we are adults, guys, right? Mm-hmm. Men like sex. Especially you're younger, guys, this is why women have a hard time with guys who are 35 and up. Guys, what a one if you're 35 and up. Guys, when you're 35 and up, sex really isn't the really number one priority like it was when you were 21, right? Guys, when you're 21, dude, think about all the stupid stuff that you did to get laid in high school, college, back when you were in the military, you know, sneaking out of your parents' house, you know, putting yourself in crazy situations. Maybe you were like already 5 or 6, 7 beers deep, and the one chick
driving around wasted.
Yeah. Trying because you had to pick up a chick to take her back to the party. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all done dumb stuff. But once you're 35, 40, 45, it's just not worth it, guys. Put yes in this chat if I've asked this all the time. If you had a date planned, you've been talking to a chick, whatever, you have the time in the date, whatever, and you get in your car, you get ready, you get in your car, you drive about quarter of a mile down the street. You're like, to hell with this. You turn around and go back home.
Look, I've had chicks on the way to my crib, and I told them to turn around.
Yeah, turn around. It's not worth it, you know. So yeah.
So I have 2 points to make, just real quick, AJ.
Make you feel safe.
Sorry.
So guys, how many times have you heard me say that free punani will always be the most expensive punani you buy?
Yep.
Free punani will always be the most expensive punani you pay for. And back to the whole only fools thing, this goes back to the Roman Empire. You know, there's a term they used to use, you know, bread and circuses, food and entertainment. And so by having all this corn and stuff out here, this is just a way to pacify, you know, people, pacify men, degeneracy in females, and to keep the masses docile. And it's about mindless diversions and entertainment.
Yeah. But guys, here's the thing, though.
They're trying to breed the masculinity out of us.
But here's the thing. Only in modernity in the West was it that the majority of men were able to have a woman and reproduce. You know what I'm saying? That's never been a thing. I think it's like
I didn't realize
40
that.
or like 50% of men throughout history have ever reproduced, but it's like 80, it's like 90% of women. You know what I'm saying? So guys, it used to be a privileged or something that you had to work for to actually get a woman. But in modernity, where we push things like monogamy, we push things like you know, where people got married young, and you have a young couple, and they would start a life. I would say from the Industrial Revolution on is when that became the norm, and now we have regressed. We have regressed where there's going to be a good chunk of men in the West who will not reproduce. Will not. They won't have a woman, and they will not reproduce. And here's the thing, that has led to the rise in adult content, because men used to. But here's the thing. Wait a minute. We have a lot more sexless marriages. I think it's like 1 in 3 marriages are sexless. Guys, what group of men is the number one consumer of OF stuff?
Married men.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So men are getting married, but once again, this feminist society tells these women that it's not their duty to sleep with their husbands. Guys, I'm doing a video we'll see drop where this guy, he's married and he hasn't got it in 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. 8 years. Why is he still married? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Yes, they have kids and all, but because once again, I said it. If you're in a sexist marriage, guys, cheat. I don't agree with it. I think it's immoral, but sexist marriages are immoral too. Once again, guys, just like killing people is immoral, but self-defense, I understand. Guys, if you smash some friggin' chick at the cash register who's interested in you, it's marriage self-defense. I'm serious. You're supposed to just not bang, and there are chicks who even they consider dudes while watching porn cheating. So it's a power play, guys. Put a one.
It is.
If you agree, It's a power play, especially if you are a guy that women want. These chicks want to be with CEOs and COOs or attractive guys, tall guys, whatever. But that guy has to be loyal to them and them only. That's insane. That is insane. I can't even think of any like equivalent that would go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine if men decided to financially abstain from the relationship?
Yeah, there you go.
That, you know, if you're not piping me down and handling business and everything along those lines, and you want to be my sole avenue for extra release, so you want to abstain from the bedroom fund, I'm going to abstain for the financial fund. Can you imagine if men did that en masse?
They should do it now. Guys,
no, I agree 100%.
Doing it right now.
You're not doing your job. Why should I do mine?
Yeah, guys, what does Tom Likas say, right? Why are marriages why are divorces so expensive?
Because they're worth it.
Because they're worth it.
I love it.
Suit man, he said he stopped chasing chicks at 35. Hey, thanks for the membership, man. Yeah. Lobart says his marriage was sexless and his wife still went out and banged the pool boy. Damn.
Does he? Can he protect and provide?
Guys, this is this guy here, right? He's why is this taking so long? Hold on. I'll get to the actual
He's trying to run
thing
in Florida, I think, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Isn't he trying to be like a mayor in Florida or congressman in Florida?
Yeah, congressman, governor. I don't know, but like
something in Florida.
Ohio,
I think it's Florida though.
You got hopeful government.
What women should do is say if she was unwilling to go to a mall food court.
I represent. Make a choice at that point.
Well, look, you can test the waters by taking them out to sushi. You can test the waters by taking them out to Milos. You can test the waters by going.
So he's a tradcon, guys. He's a tradcon goofball, right? But once again, he wants to do 50% of tax on OF chicks.
Out to an ice skating rink, you don't have to test the waters.
Woman's true nature is shown. Sex is off the table. Like at that point, it's neutral. You can see what she really is.
What?
At the same time, same token, I get what you're saying, but like you need to go all the way.
I disagree. Can I tell you what my first date was? Kind of my approach in my 20s. I'm 31 now. My approach in my 20s was if I told a girl I wanted to take her on a date, I would say, we're going to the Costco food court, or we're going to go to the mall food court.
Hot dogs,
glizzies, and I did that because I didn't want to go out with a girl. Literally on the first date, she was unwilling to go to a mall food court.
I already kind of liked James for what I've seen on social media, on Twitter specifically, and that's all. So I do.
Says, we got to spend all this money to have a good time.
James, I'll give you this. It's a good vetting process when you vet them that way. That's very good. However,
here we go.
Let's just get into the meat and bones here. You're going to tell me that I can just tell a girl, right, go through that process and pick off of that alone. Not possible. That's been multiple layers of vetting, but this is what I'll say. In the long run, guys have options because their status, their money, their looks. But in reality, the options aren't that good. So to find them out the full way, you have to go all the way. And look, I'm just saying, like, sex is on the table, but you got to go at least close to that to figure out who she really is.
But what do you mean? Well, guys, once again, you know a lot about a chick by who she slept with in the past, right? Watch.
What percentage of the time are you?
How do you know it's like going to be good?
What's going to be good?
Sex.
Why is that your
But
basis
why?
of marriage?
Seriously, I don't know why that's like. Well, think about it. If you're married for 40, 50 years, what percentage of the time are you going to be having sex with a woman? Less than 1% of 1% of the time.
Yeah.
So why don't we focus on the other 99?
I told you guys, this guy, he's a trad con. Look at that. I told you guys, this guy is a total trad con. Guys, people call Andrew Wilson a trad con. No. Andrew Wilson has some trad con tendencies, yes, when it comes to, but even he wouldn't say that sex doesn't matter. We need to focus on everything else. Duh. Guys, sex is a large part of any relationship. And once again, guys, men want sex more than anything else. He's minimizing that because he's always in the woman's court, always.
0.9% of the interactions, cooking, going out. How do you guys handle stress, consternation, fight, support? Why are we so, as men, I'm saying this as a guy, why are we so obsessed with literally less than 1% of the time that we're going to spend is having sex with a woman?
But I agree. I'm saying let's get out of the way now.
Why?
Can I say something?
And Fresh literally just said right there at the end that he does agree, right? Yeah, dude, sex is a lead. There is a black life. You know, the cooking, the cleaning, all the wife.
Okay,
all right. Let me ask this.
Brad and Tom didn't wait for sex.
Who's that?
The guys before me, right? They didn't wait for sex for till marriage. Why am I gonna wait?
Well, look. Okay. If you wanted to find out if a woman,
guys, you know what's crazy, dude? If Fresh is making good points, you know you're cooked.
Yeah.
If this goofy Goomba looking bastard is making good points, you know you're cooked. And guys, here's the craziest thing about Fresh, right? Because guys, I have a speech impediment too, right? But guys, here's the thing: I've worked on it, right? It comes out now, you know, more often than not, but you guys can at least understand what I'm saying. And if I really, really dial it in, it goes away, right? You know what I'm saying? Fresh will not. He won't even like accept the fact that he's hard to understand, and then he gets frustrated when he gets paid to talk for a living, and he won't go to speech classes. He has one of the easiest speech impediments to actually fix, and he won't do it. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane.
AJ,
yeah.
I want to disagree with you on what.
Hey guys, whoa. Angel, you have an echo coming from your end, so get some headphones or turn your volume down or something, because I had an echo coming from you. Or turn the YouTube off in the background. Secret, you were saying?
So I want to disagree with you on one point. Yes, men want sex, but women want it just as much, if not more.
No.
The problem isn't that she doesn't want to have sex. She just doesn't want to have sex with you.
Now, our sexual drives are different biologically. Women, okay, I believe back in the day, men, we have a biological urge to have sex, and women have built up a sociological, social media, and validation driven sex drive that's not even based on their biology, right? Like they want to go out and party and bang a dude, even though they don't enjoy it, just to say that they did so, just to say that they slept with the highest status guy, or leading with their sex makes it seem like they have a high sex drive, but they're just using it to control people, or they have nothing else to offer, so they lead with their sex. But women don't want sex as much as men.
Maybe I'm just projecting just my own anecdotal experience. but
hey,
I've had women get mad at me because
they don't want rejection.
Okay, because they get mad at me when I don't want to pipe them down.
Here's the thing: if you were to pipe them down, you guys, because women only climax like 20% of the time during the act of sex, or less. So like they don't have the urge, even biologically. Nothing needs to happen on the woman's end to make babies. Something needs to happen on our end. So what I'm saying is she was probably trying to get some type of validation from you by using sex on you. That's not just for, wow, I'm going to get it in because I'm horny. You know what I'm saying? So.
Ladies, if you want to find out the guy was right, you have two options. You can have sex with them for 6 months, or you can travel the world with them for 6 months. Which one are you picking?
Travel the world.
Wait,
right?
so but who's paying though?
Irrelevant.
The guy's paying.
I told you guys. I told you. Simp. Guys, type simp in this chat right now. Look at this. So I just want to just have you prep you guys so you know who this guy.
Right? Irrelevant.
So you know,
all right, okay. You guys are gonna backpack Europe. You're gonna sleep in hostels. You're gonna have McDonald's. Still travel because guess what? The travel plans are gonna go wrong. You're gonna have fights.
She said ew to a hostel.
She's gonna be hungry. You're not gonna all that stuff. That's what I would want to see in a relationship. Is not who's better in bed, but who's actually going to handle the stress, the uncertainty, the barriers. We're staying at a hostel. I mean,
$50.
Can we do a twin bed? That's okay, right?
And you think that's gonna be a woman?
There's a need for bedding. 100%. I agree with you.
We agree that.
See what you guys think.
You're coming more from a religious and moral perspective, but I'm going to speak more from like a biological perspective. So, because this whole started with men, having multiple women, polygamy, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
it's natural for men to want multiple women, right? And it's natural for women to typically want to consolidate on one guy that meets all their metrics. The problem with women,
and he's a Bible thumper, guys. Lots of the powerful men in the Bible had multiple wives, right, guys. You know what I'm
King
saying?
Solomon had a ton of them,
yeah,
like 1,000.
is that, or the
King
problem
Doug
for women
knows.
is that it's very rare to find a guy that meets all the criteria in one dude, right? Since women have typically higher standards, it's harder to find a guy that is tall, charming, good looking, makes enough money, checks all the boxes. So what ends up happening is like girls have to date around. One guy has 2 out of the 3, another guy has 1 out of the 3, another guy has all of them, but he's not available. So for women, it's really hard. So I'll be sensitive to the fact that, like, you know, from a religious perspective, yes, monogamy, etc. But from the biological standpoint, I will say this: a high body count on a man, or a man having a certain body count, is a very honest indicator of where he stands when it comes to sexual market value. So if a guy has had sex with a lot of women, I know he's doing something right. Whether he speaks well, he's charming, he's good looking, he goes to the gym,
or he's paying them.
Well, I'm outside of prostitution.
Okay,
like I'm talking like strictly.
Tommy, see, guys, his whole thing, men are trash. There's a deficit on the man's part, right? Just see this, guys. These are the dangerous guys, right there, right. And he's standing on some biblical BS, guys. Here, hold on. Watch like 1 more minute, and then we'll get into the Piers Morgan.
He's doing it through skill base, right?
That don't count.
He's doing, I wouldn't count that. But if he's having sex with a lot of women and not paying prostitutes, he's doing something right. Now, let me be clear about this.
By our modern measure of society, he's doing something right.
Yes, he's figured out the skill set, because it is a skill set and not many men have it, of of being able to seduce women and be able to be attractive to women and garner sex. Now, that is a skill. I know some of you guys might say, oh, that's whatever. A select portion of men can do this. Very few men can actually do it, right? So it is a skill set.
Most of the guys who perform to, you know what I mean?
Society, because obviously it's not hard for women to get laid, but it is very hard for men to get laid. So a guy, I know you said, hey, I don't consider it a G if you have sex with 200 girls. That's fine. But I would say we can objectively say that this guy is doing something right to be attractive enough to be able to get those girls. Now, let me be clear about this too. Like, if a guy chooses to be monogamous, right, or he has the ability to have other women, but he wants to be monogamous, that's separate. That's fine. My thing is, I want the guy to have the choice. Most men don't have the choice. They'll cope and they'll say, hey, they have the choice, or they'll rely on religion. I'm being monogamous because of my faith, but it's a lot of the time it's cope. So my thing is like, I'm doing this because of my religion. As you're a dumpy fat loser, right, guys? And guys, over here, once again, guys, please, 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 be the best version of yourself. Don't be some tradcon loser, right? Don't be some 480-pound guy who cries like a little girl. I don't have any money. No, guys, no one's here to save you. No one's here to help. Guys, we're here to help. But guys, if snowboard, what's the 2 things even the best coach can't fix? The 2 things that the best coach can't fix. Does anyone know, guys?
Laziness and your work ethic.
Laziness and cowardice.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the 2 things that even the best coach cannot fix. And guys, do not be lazy and do not be a coward, okay? As we hold men to a much higher standard than we hold women. And there's no excuse, right? Guys, I'm at where I'm at. And I have a stutter. I'm black. So according to the wokey wokes, I should be poor. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse. There's no excuse at all. You know? So, guys, here we go. This is a Piers Morgan thing. Now, guys, Piers Morgan's going to be simping hardcore.
Yeah. What else?
Hardcore. Have you watched this, Snowboard?
No, but I kind of hate Piers Morgan. He's so annoying.
This is your friendly reminder that immigration without assimilation is invasion.
Look at all the white nationalists that were commenting on her social media pages. That's what's concerning to me.
We can talk about the Muslim culture. I would argue that those aren't particularly equal.
You've proposed a 50% sin tax on OnlyFans creators to discourage what you call immoral behavior.
I feel that this is a classic case of Stockholm syndrome, the victim, the enslaved person.
Guys, anyone who does that with their hands when they're trying to talk to you, you cannot trust them.
Is a shill.
Okay? You cannot trust them. This is a person who took like a public speaking class or whatever, or read some public speaking book, you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
Feel that they have real agency.
Why don't we just bring in Sophie, right?
Sophie, look.
I don't really
with all due
trust this
respect,
guy.
I want what's best for you. You are capable of anything you put your mind to. And so when you're doing this little cute Spider-Man dance online and you're creating this adult content, know that that person that you used to be still wants something more.
Who are you to be the great moral arbiter of what young women do with themselves legally in the United States?
Look at that, guys.
Well, James Fishback is one of the most talked about political candidates in recent memory, but the Republican candidate for governor of Florida also
governor.
have very little chance
Florida.
of winning. Traditional polls show Fishback trailing bigly, as Donald Trump would put it. At the time of recording, he has just a 10% chance on Polymarket, which has a very accurate track record on recent election outcomes. His main opponent in the primary, Byron Donalds, has the full backing of President Trump. And
I like Byron Donalds. He's a G. You guys know who he is?
Here.
Huh?
Same here.
Yeah, this guy.
I know. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man, dude. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, hold on. Check this out. I covered him once before.
So he's trying to be governor, or has he been
yes.
a mayor or something before?
Hold on. There was one where he was right outside of what Congress or whatever, and this woke reporter was like asking him all these stupid questions. He just completely destroyed him. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. He was like, "You guys are dumb, right? You guys ask stupid questions. You guys always bring up my race. So Democrats and liberals and wokey are actually more racist than anyone else. This guy's the man, dude. Guys, he doesn't play games. I would vote for him. You know?
Has he been a mayor or something? It looks like he's done some other.
He's a congressman. So,
okay.
Hold on.
American history, and Florida public schools has been given attention from almost everyone, regardless of which aisle or side of the aisle that they sit on.
Yeah, now we are hearing from one of the most prominent.
Yeah, she's hot. How you doing?
Yeah. Most prominent African American voices in the Republican Party, and you'll hear that interview to us exclusively.
Where's that interview? But he's like right outside of Congress. I
think it's really important. We need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact. Okay. And here in DC and across the country, it is so incredibly important, Mr. Chair, that this committee does not allow rhetoric that defames or paints Washington.
This chick is a demon, guys.
Yeah, she's a dog.
Yeah, get your holy water.
See in a way that you all haven't really truly seen. You're just reading it. No, you're just reading it or something off of some.
Will the gentlelady yield to a question?
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Will the gentlelady
I don't yield. I don't even have time. I can tell you
your time's expired.
It is expired, but Mr. Chair, but you all live here, and you're not telling people the beautiful parts that you do see in our nation's capital. And no,
you're
it's
a
just
dog.
Chairman, I think it's insane that the gentlelady doesn't have an argument, but she's going to refer to me and some of my colleagues.
Mr. Chair,
You're from the Third Reich. This is
insane. You're going to look at 14, 15-year-olds as a bunch of criminals?
It's insane.
Oh,
do I look like a member of the Third Reich to you, Ms. Talib?
Please.
Is that what I look like to you?
You're the one taking your
Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
Guys, see, this is why, guys, put a 1 if you agree. This is why these chicks shouldn't be here in the first place. Let's go. I told you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
Is that what you think?
No, that's unethical.
I think it's radical and I think it's insane. And I'll respect everything that you say. But to say something like that to myself and all of my colleagues is way out of line. It's way out of line. It's way out of line. Regular order, Mr. Way out of line. Regular order. That's okay. But it's okay, right?
That is not how it goes.
It's okay, right?
You hold yourself accountable before you talk about
Hold myself accountable.
Hold your mama accountable. Oh!
Hold yourself accountable. How about that? Hold your own self accountable. How about that?
Free DC and make sure you vote with your own voting card. Don't be giving it to somebody else.
All right, time. Chair recognizes Ms. Bobert from Colorado.
What a mess.
An agent of chaos. Look at all that garbage just so he had his turn to speak. with his
What
time.
a mess, guys. What a mess.
Wow.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, that black dude, he's the man. I agree with a lot of stuff he says. He doesn't believe in the whole victimhood thing or any of this. He says, look, guys, get us your money. All right. You know what I'm saying? There's a victim mentality and there's a victor mentality. You got to have that victor mentality, okay?
Republican machine with record spending to match. But Fishback has stayed in the race with a novel strategy of rage baiting, such as referring to his opponent as AIPAC Shakur, and by proposing some very radical.
Which, by the way, I like that.
That's
actually pretty awesome.
I got
AIPAC Shakur. Nice. Maybe I do like this guy. Hell yeah.
Yo, that's actually pretty hilarious.
Hell yeah. Nice. Small hat Shakur.
You got him AIPAC Shakur. Oh no! Look at that.
You know he got that probably from a black dude too. I don't think he was clever enough to come up with that.
Guys, come on. That is clever, dude. Come on.
That is pretty awesome.
Aims to raise millions of dollars straight from the pockets of OnlyFans models. Well, in a moment, I'll hear the case against the syntax of the most successful OnlyFans creator in the world. But joining me first is James Fishback, Republican candidate for governor of Florida. Well, welcome, Mr. Fishback.
Piers, thanks for having me.
So, look, a lot of people think you've got no chance of winning. What's the point? What is the point of continuing?
Well, a lot of people said that Donald Trump had no chance of winning when he ran in a 19-way primary in 2015. What I'm telling you, Piers, is that I'm here to tell the truth. And when we were at the University of Florida 2 weeks ago and we had 500 people in the audience, black, white, rich, poor, Muslim, Christian, Jew, that spoke to a real energy on the ground. And so I'm not going to put blind faith in polls that said that Hillary Clinton was the shoo-in and that Kamala Harris was the shoo-in. I'm going to speak truth out of an unapologetic love for a state that my family has called home for 4 generations now. The truth is that I love my state, but my state is hurting right now. Young couples can't afford to buy a home. People are being laid off and billionaires are firing them to bring in cheap foreign labor from South Asia, all at the same time when essential services like healthcare are being denied to veterans all over this state. And so I am fighting for a state that every single Floridian can afford, and that's why I'm running for governor.
One of the big things you've been on recently, you've been on a very critical run against Israel, particularly for roping America into the war in Iran as you see it, because you say they're too cowardly to fight for themselves, although they are fighting, obviously, in Iran. It's interesting because in November 2024, a few weeks after October the 7th, you said this.
So Trump moved an embassy, got Muslim-majority countries for the first time ever to recognize the rightful existence of the Jewish state of Israel, and that justifies the heinous attack we saw on October 7th. Iran was only exporting...
Oops, he's Mr. Flippy Floppy. Uh-oh! He's Mr. Flippy Floppy.
Yep, that's why I didn't trust them right away.
Look at that.
50,000 barrels of oil a day under Trump. Now they're exporting 1.6 million. They're making hundreds of billions of dollars a year.
Guys, you know what's funny? Pearly Things had a show called What Do You Not Give a Shit About Anymore? That's a really good idea. I think maybe next week, guys, I'm gonna have a show where you guys can just call in and just say, I just don't give a damn about X anymore, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because guys, we're just expected to just care about stuff. And it's like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know? It's like guys, and we'll revisit this. Sea Gip Snowboard. Guys, what do you just not give a shit about anymore?
Sometimes religion, to be honest with you, that's not the topic you're looking for stuff like this. But
No. Wait. How would it not be the topic? It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm asking, what issue or what thing do you not care about? You just screw it. I don't care anymore.
In all honesty, I really don't care. about these 304s and public assistance, and what about feeding the children and everything on those lines? You shouldn't have had them.
Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of people looking for the government to bail them out for their poor choices and bad decisions.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is poor people. Sorry, guys, I don't care. I really, I just don't care. You cannot get me to waste any of my emotional energy on poor people. And I'm not trying to be an elitist, guys. Working class, lower working class, lower middle class, but I'm talking about perpetually poor government assistance to underheads. I don't care. I don't care. You cannot shame me into giving a damn about the poor, because back when we were young, you'd have people who would fall on hard times. Now people they think it's cool to be poor, right? A lot of people have the choice either be out on the streets and be a junkie or an idiot, or even pretend to clean yourself up and try and better your life, and they won't even try, because I don't care. I don't, and I'm not ashamed. I just say it. Who was saying something? Yeah, but it can be anything, guys. What in the chat? What issue do you just not give a damn about? Like what? What do you not care about?
I know I get what you mean. Like
well, you
Grammys,
used to care, but now you don't.
Nobel Prize, Hollywood movies, like all those things. There's Grammys, Emmys, awards, like Nobel, even Nobel Prize. I don't really care about it.
Hollywood, I don't.
Yeah, Hollywood,
Sorry, I don't care. I really don't. Sorry, because the poor. How dare you say I don't care? I don't. I care about all you guys that are trying to work and grind, but the people it's like this emotional argument where like you just can't say that because I don't care. Secret, you're saying?
So I grew up in one of the worst housing projects in Philadelphia, and I'm talking during the 70s, 80s, the whole crack stuff. I grew up in one of the worst housing projects. There was literally 11, 12 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment. I literally had to, empty out my shoes and check my book bag every day to make sure no roaches would crawl out while I'm in school. So I grew up poor, and even when people were out there, being sidewalk street pharmaceutical sales rep, I chose another route. And so at the end of the day, I made choices. Those choices was being disciplined with my seed, me focusing on education, and me thinking about the future and what I envisioned for my life. And I've been about some stuff. I've been stabbed. I've been stabbed in the back of the head. I've been stabbed. Snowboard, when we're in DR, we're at the beach. I'll show you how many times I've been stabbed. And so at the end of the day, you make choices. And I made the decision a long time ago that I wanted more for my life. And so, no, it's a choice and a decision. I'm not saying you're going to be AJ successful, snowboard successful, but it's a choice in regards to being out here making a bunch of kids, get pop, get it, and snort, sniff. It's all a choice.
Yep.
And no matter where Seed Grip was stabbed, he's always stabbed in the black. He got black stabbed.
Actually, it was because, and believe it or not, it was these chicks' boyfriends coming at me, and they always had to jump me. Yeah. So I'm like my daddy. They said my daddy loved the ladies, and the ladies love him. Well, I had the same problem.
Black Samurai, how you been, man?
How's it going, guys? It's been a minute, man. How you guys doing?
Good. Samurai, what's an issue or a topic or whatever that you used to care about that you just don't give a damn about?
You know what? When I was young, because I'm 42 right now, man. And when I was young, I really cared about, my image and what people, thought about stuff. But the older I got, I realized I don't really give a shit anymore. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Rock and roll, man.
Listen. You, the way the economic climate is nowadays, you got to be lucky if you're working. Okay, you're lucky if you pay your bills every day. You have a plate of food every day. You know, all you hear people on the internet do is complain, trying to keep up with this person, got to keep up with that person. You know, I want to give a shout out to the real people that go to work every day and don't complain, because
I just got to disagree with you though, that you don't have to have luck, because if you're essential, if you drive trucks, if you're a plumber, electrician, right, you're never going to be out of work.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
I think the job nowadays that I think, like they say, the HVAC people who fix HVACs, the hands-on people, the mechanics and all of that, you're going to be loaded.
Yep. Yeah. There's electricians who are working at the data centers, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Starting pay is $260,000 a year.
They need those people. They need those people to keep those machines running.
Yep.
So and those power machines running, because they don't want the power to go out.
Yep. And the only thing you can pay a chick to do on those machines is hawk to it to cool it down. Had to spin on it to cool it down.
There we go, guys.
That emboldens them to give their proxies weapons, money, and the vigor to attack the Jewish state. And that is unacceptable in the international community.
So a lot of people look at that clip and the extended version and other comments you made at the time and thought, well, here's a really
he was flip-flopping like a fish back out of water.
Well, the Israeli government and the relationship with America. And now you appear to have done a massive U-turn on this and become incredibly critical of them. A, do you accept that characterization? And if so, explain the change in mind.
Well, Piers, I'm glad you played that clip and
There's
gave
the
full
hand thing
context.
again.
I'm grateful for that. What I said in that clip, I stand by today, which is that Iran should never be funding the crazy terroristic proxies of Hezbollah or the Houthis or Hamas. And I also have been critical of the Israeli government. What I'm especially critical of is the fact that they now want $200 billion for the Pentagon to fight a war, just as Christian Floridians are, on
many of whom want to cause it harm through the terrorist proxies.
Typically and generally, every country in the world does not have an inherent right to exist, who their minds to. And I never want a woman in my state to be exploited by the online sex slavery that is OnlyFans.
But
And that's why, as governor,
I thought it was a voluntary platform.
it's not. There's nothing voluntary about a platform that exploits women and forces them to sell nude photos on the internet.
When you say
Do you see this, guys?
Virgin.
Because the evil men made them do it, and women are defenseless creatures that know not what they do.
It's like the evil eggplant is attacking her. No.
What a joke. What a joke.
Just to be clear about what OnlyFans is, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding about OnlyFans is it's voluntary. No one's forcing you to do it. People go on OnlyFans, create an account, and they charge money for whatever they want to put on their account. I'm not sure where the exploitation element, as you're articulating.
Isn't he a simp, though, dude? Like,
yeah, he is.
Morgan. Isn't he a simp?
But it could also be that you pay a niece or your friend's daughter who is of age and be like, pay them like, hey, I'm going to give you $180 if you like do this really weird thing that like is going to bother you. Like,
What?
and I know about it, but that's up to them.
Wait. What are you talking about?
So let's say, and I'm not defending Piers Morgan or anything. I'm just saying, like, I think I've never used OF, so I'm not sure about this.
Snowboard, stop. Do you know what OF was actually invented for?
No.
It was for celebrities and people who had followings to show behind the scenes. So there are actually celebrities that are on OF that have nothing sexual on there at all, but you just you pay to have access to see behind the scenes stuff from between their concerts and private interviews and all that. That's what it was for.
Basically, it's like a paywall.
Yes.
For content. But they infiltrated the adult content into that platform.
Yes, so
it was like a Patreon type thing.
Yes, Valentina Shevchenko. She's UFC champion. She's hot. She has OF, but she has nothing sexual on there at all. She's actually sponsored by OF, but everyone sees her because she's pretty cute for a image and assume that she. But she's a very, very private person.
Mm-hmm.
So she
probably Russian.
Yeah, well, she's Russian, but her family got forced to move to Kyrgyzstan during the Cold War, and then she immigrated to Peru. So everyone jokes that she's a spy because she speaks Kyrgyz, Russian.
Yeah, everyone who's
Spanish,
Russian they call a spy, no matter what.
Basically, the Soviets gave her the boot. Now she's trying. She's half like Peruvian or something like that.
No. Valentina Shevchenko. She is Russian. Let's say. So remember, they made a whole bunch of Russians move to Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, in the same way that when the Japanese took over Manchuria during World War II, they took a whole bunch of Japanese, they scooped you up out of your neighborhood and made you move there. They wanted Russians in every single Soviet country. So her family was uprooted in the 70s and in the early 80s, and they were moved out to the middle of nowhere, Kyrgyzstan. So she's Russian ethnically, but nationality wise, she's from Kyrgyzstan. And then when the wall fell, her family moved to Peru. So she
immigrated. Yeah.
But she speaks English, Kyrgyz, like Uzbeki, Russian, Spanish, and what's cool is not only can she fight, but she can shoot. There's special forces guys who have gone shooting with her, and she does, and she's like, dude, she shoots like a Navy SEAL, like, dude. And everyone's like,
I think she should be KGB. Then
yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone's like, hey, Valentina, are you a spy? She's like, no. It's like, that's exactly what a spy
would say.
She's my favorite female fighter.
Yeah, I really do enjoy her.
Yeah, she's.
But I meant like by the reason I said she must be Russian and doing the Russians usually kind of keep to themselves more, so I could see that they could have a paywall for someone like that.
Yeah, because
that's kind of what I meant.
Don't really know much about her. Like they don't know. They know that her sister's married, has a kid, but no one really knows anything about Valentine. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she does interviews now and then. She posts stuff on Instagram because she likes to travel around a lot. So she likes to like rent big pickup trucks and drive around the United States. So they'll be in like Seattle one day looking at stuff, or they'll be like in the middle of the Wyoming mountains, and it's actually really, really, really cool. But her OF is how you can actually see like more about her life and her family and her mom, and who's really, really cool. But so she doesn't have anything sexual. Beyonce, she was like the very first person to actually celebrity to have an OF, but it was all of the stuff between her concerts. Then that's when those came in there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that a little bit, AJ. So one of the challenges with spicy content has always been payment processing.
Yeah.
How do we get the payment? Because a lot of the major card people, your MasterCard, your Amex, your Visa, all of them, they don't finance that stuff, or they shut down payments to make it very difficult. And so people who do spicy content, the slurs will always find a way. They did it with Backpage, they did it with phone lines, whatever there's a way to try to get their names and their faces out there. They're doing it with Snapchat, but the payment processing has always been the challenge.
But I guess
and with OFA and with OnlyFools.
There's another big thing though, is that if you were in the industry of adult stuff, like you would, unless you started your own website or had your own production company, these girls didn't, and guys, these guys, they didn't own it.
Have the mental capacity or the business savvy to be on it. These people.
No. Listen.
Both are true. Both things are true.
Listen. The adult industry is the same as the music industry. The top 6, 7, 8, 9 studios run the whole damn thing. Okay, that's how it works. It's like music. When was the last time that you saw like a music label label start that rivals Sony or rivals was it RCA or the big
Interscope.
Huh? Yeah, Interscope, right?
Yeah.
So and also movie studios, right? Like movie studios. Tesla's the last new American car company. You understand?
That grace period, that startup period, that I think 1 to 3 year period before, it gets widely known. But to me, it's like I don't think the people who make those contents are even, they can't even get on that level. Somebody's going to make
some of them can. It's rare, but there are those that have started their own studios and their own websites, right? And managed to do well. But you have to grind,
right?
Barely making any money. You're talking these chicks that have done 2, 3, 4, 500 pieces of content before they even have the notoriety or the money to even start said thing. Whereas you have this Sophie Rain chick. I mean, she's been on there 2 years and made $100 million. That one Bad Baby chick. You know what I'm saying?
That money in order to produce that content, like you said, it has to be an X amount of money she had to start with. I guarantee you, she had at least $100,000 or something like to even produce content.
Sophie Rain?
Yeah.
No, she needed her phone and a bed. What are you talking about, bro? Like, see, guys. I think you have to be a complete fool to do OF, because there are people who film full-length movies on their iPhones. You can YouTube search, how can I film a full-length film and edit it and make it meaning like a movie style quality film on your phone.
Because check this out, AJ. Because I was looking at Adam 22 and how he does his content.
Mm-hmm.
All he does is has four little cameras, like the advanced 4K cameras. Put them all in certain angles within a table with 4 seats, and then that's it. Like, I think those cameras are like $700 a piece.
You can use your phone though. There are phones that film just as good. And here's the thing: he does his podcast out of an office. The most expensive part about podcasting is renting the space. That's why you see a lot of people start out in their bedrooms or in their living rooms, right? Because we live in the cheapest time ever to be able to produce music, to make movies.
You're right.
Design. Your phone, guys. My coworker's son, he's this like 9-year-old white kid. And he's learning how to DJ like on his phone because they have apps. So he'll download two songs. It's got the little fader, and he's learning how to match beats. And then he has a drum machine. He's actually like trying to like learn how to make like old school, like early 90s, like East Coast rap beats on this little kid.
Once he learn how to read music and produce, it's over.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, there's even chicks who make money just posting pictures. They don't even have to edit and make videos. They just take pictures of themselves on their phones, on their Galaxies, because Galaxies have a better phone than the iPhone. But that's all that they'll do, and they'll still make money. So I can say, guys, and stick with me here. Stick with me here. That's the only silver lining to Only Fools. Is that the person who's making the content makes the money. It takes the middleman out. OF does make a percentage of it, but at least you own your content, right? At least you make a larger percentage of it, and you can do different things with it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clip the coin as like a toll. It's like a toll.
Yeah.
Now check this out, AJ. Now the people he's trying to say that's exploited. Now check this out. There, you got minors that sell feet pictures, and you got dudes buying that content. That's what he be going after. Take those areas down off the internet.
There was a girl on TikTok, and she posts feet pics on. I think it's like they have like a OF, but it's strictly for feet. I was gonna do a video.
Oh my god,
on this shit, bro.
We are cooked, guys.
Guys,
has feet fetishes. It's I don't know what the hell is wrong with those guys, man.
Well, I don't care if someone has I just can't believe we have a whole like website and payment processing system like made for this.
Wait.
Or just what type of guys like do this stuff?
We've all
I'm surprised. It'd be like every day.
feet, okay? But I haven't had pedicure and I don't know how long, so it's not on the cards for me. But you send in my DMs. I know it's been kind of like a quiet conversation.
Hey guys, you know Quentin Tarantino has that foot fetish. Guys, that has to be the most aggressive one out of all of them. Dude, people who are into feet are like savagely into feet. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Feet are disgusting, guys. Ugh.
Yeah.
But I went down the rabbit hole for you. This video I should get credit for, from what I've seen, what I've heard. That's all I can do. So here we go. Let's talk about it.
Feet Finder. I am seeing that talked about.
That's it. This is the one.
Oh my god,
guys! There are guys.
Are you just called Feet Finder?
So they like pour like chocolate syrup.
Wait, how do you know that, Snowboard? Tell me. How do you know
Is that like my ice cream Calato?
Yeah, guys, there's a whole industry. I honestly believe that of all the weird stuff people are into, feet,
just
that has to
there.
be
Can you
the
imagine
most.
someone just sitting there. They paid money. They paid like $15, and they're crying here, just watching her like walk in mud.
But Snowboard, Joe, let me ask you this question though, because he's like the guy sitting there explaining about people is exploited. Now, what if you catch your 13-year-old daughter selling feet pictures?
I would be pissed.
Guys,
that is exploitation.
No, guys, we don't even need to talk about that. What would you guys do if you were with a girl and you found out she was selling pictures on Feet Finder?
See ya.
I mean, because guys, here's the thing. No. Listen. They can remain anonymous because all they're showing is their feet.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Like you gotta. Okay. All right. I was in a class.
My answer is 80%.
I was in a class in college, right? It was like a psychology and sexuality class, right? And there was this one guy, I forget his name, but he was he was the only other black dude in the class, and homeboy just like, it's like someone just opened the floodgates. Someone asked him about feet. Bro, homeboy just kept going on and 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 on about feet. And I'm like, bro, like, okay, we get it. Oh, no, man, because you got to understand about the history of like, well, there's this and that, and feet bring you to the Mother Earth. And if you walk barefoot, it means you have better energy, and that's why interacting with feet. And I'm like, bro, you completely lost me, dude. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Well, he has all these thoughts running through his mind. Oh!
I think I might know why though, perhaps because like in Chinese medicine and stuff, it's like called like reflexology, where the bottom of your foot.
Snowboard, you're such an optimist. They're perverts. They're perverts, bro. Come on. Like, what are you talking? There's no ancient Chinese kung fu connection, bro. I'm telling you, people who are into feet, they're like aggressively like perverts when it comes to feet. It's crazy, dude. Anyways, but yeah. So, but here's the thing, guys, like technically she would be anonymous. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, but the thing is, answer is 80% of that money is mine. That's why I was saying 80%.
Would you stand 10 toes down on that? Oh! How the fuck did we end up here?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Eats. Well, this is often the defense of sex trafficking, that a 15-year-old girl is voluntarily
hang on. Sex trafficking is illegal.
And I believe that OnlyFans should be illegal as well. There's
Really?
nothing
Why? Well, what law
voluntary
are they
about-
breaking?
Well, there's nothing. Well, I would change the law. I would change the law. That's how we do things. I mean, slavery wasn't illegal, and then we said this is a moral
But
repugnancy.
who's enslaving
and we
people on
changed
OnlyFans?
the law.
I'm really
It's
curious. I don't.
enslaving.
Again,
It's
look, I don't. Maybe you've consumed a lot more OnlyFans content than me, and you see.
Piers Morgan is so annoying.
Isn't
God
he?
Damn it.
Isn't he,
he
guys?
is.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Because remember when Piers Morgan had Andrew Cobra on, we'll call him. He was like saying the same thing that this guy was saying, basically. And that was probably like 2 years ago or something like that. I'm pretty sure they've been on the same show before and had that exchange.
Yeah, when you really piss Piers Morgan off, you gonna like do like a nut kick right at you, and he's gonna be trying to do that.
Well, that's the only Piers Morgan is actually kind of good at what he does, but he is a shill troll that doesn't stand for anything. So that's what makes him like annoying.
Yeah,
but he does at least do his own thing.
Did you guys see Lauren Southern's like, I helped create the manosphere in the red pill. Now they're turning on me, and now she's trying to say that Tate gave her the herp dirt.
I'm a very dramatic person, all naturally, boss. I just found out I had herpes. My man broke up with me, and I just got burned $250. That's it.
I'm not aware that that is what OnlyFans is. It has a lot of adult content, but legal adult content, which is monitored according to the law, and that people who have accounts there do so voluntarily. They open accounts and they charge money. We have somebody I'm going to bring in a moment, Sophie Rain, who has made $43 million from her account on OnlyFans. I don't think she's been enslaved or exploited. I think she's perfectly happy and enjoys what she does. I mean, I'll talk to her in a moment, but why do you feel she's a slave?
So I feel that this is a classic case of Stockholm.
Can we pause it for
syndrome,
1
where the
second,
individual,
AJ?
the victim, the enslaved.
So she got.
He's making
guys one at a time, please. Guys, one at a time, please.
Go ahead, Black. Okay, I'll go first.
Sam, right? Yeah.
Why did he? Go ahead, Sam. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, Snowboarder. She's making more than certain 500 companies in America, man. It's 40
right,
million.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The value added that she's made, just compared to what a regular man has to do. A guy can't just go out and do that. It's not like she could be just a woman from the Midwest and go out and make that kind of money. I know that most.
I guarantee you 100% of that money came from men. Was no females buying her.
Yeah. You guys,
that means it's a problem.
I'm going to caveat this for this. I don't knock anyone's hustle. I don't. Because, guys, the more that you hate on someone's hustle, like there's someone out there hating on your hustle the same way, right? I'm serious, right? If there's idiot simps out there dumb enough to pay this chick $100 million, hey, you know, but guys, there's going to be one day where someone's going to look at you and be like, man, this guy gets paid this much money to do that. I'm just saying, like
it shows the value system in our society in a way. Like it's. I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm just saying, like, it's just how like insane it is.
It's the absurdity of it
compared to like someone else who's trying to do their own business in like maybe more clean way, I guess.
Yeah,
they can't get anywhere near the type of money and provide way more like value in other ways, I guess.
Yeah, I can't see anything that a man can do that's the equivalent of.
He would have to be the best looking guy in the world somehow, and
even
funniest
that
and everything, and then do one of those.
But you could say selling drugs or whatever, but there's still way more risk and way more work. You know
exactly.
But still, on that, there's not even enough women in the world that could produce that much money to give to a man. I don't think.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Dude, these stupid broads, whether it's men's money that they're using or their own. There's $114,000 Birkin bags. What do you think? Are you serious? Yes, there are.
Birkin bags and the makeup and all the accessories. I think these bras are broke, bro.
I think he was just being sarcastic.
Yeah. If there's a way that you could make yourself the equivalent of said thing that they waste money on, I just don't see how guys do it. Well, there are those male authors who write those female smut books,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Who write the 50 Shades of Grey style books. I would say that they're the equivalent of an OF chick, but they have to physically write the book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that's a good point, guys. Here, write some, you know, cowboy friggin'
now. Yeah.
You know, on the old west, and she's tied up by the engines, and the cowboy comes, and then
and we know who the engines is.
Guys, here's the thing too. Once again, what's the number one fantasy these chicks have now?
The ice one.
That some Chad ICE agent comes in. And you want to see how twisted that these Reddit? These guys go on Reddit and look at like Reddit dark fantasies. These chicks are demented. Dude.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Most guys are pretty milquetoast. You know, stick it in. You know, about 45 to 55 pumps. You know what I'm saying? Roll over. And go to bed, but these chicks are into some demonic stuff.
Person doesn't feel that they have real agency. This goes back to sociology 101 theories. That someone is induced to believe they have agency when in fact they can't make a decision for themselves. I want young girls in my state to aspire to be astronauts, doctors, nurses, small business owners. I believe a radical thing that women can do anything they put their minds to, Piers, and I don't want them resigned.
So do you think, just to be clear, do you think modeling is modeling to you immoral?
I think naked modeling, however you want to euphemize it, naked modeling is immoral.
I mean,
absolutely.
Cindy Crawford was one of the greatest iconic supermodels of all time. She's done naked modeling. So is she a sinner?
Yeah.
Is she immoral? Should she be paying 50% back of her income?
Well,
Like
in
your
that
wife?
particular act of modeling, yes, and modeling nude, but you and I both know that Cindy Crawford was not known for her nude modeling. She was predominantly known for modeling for runway
So
shows.
should we
in London,
retrospectively
Paris,
go
and New
back
York.
to every supermodel who's ever posed nude and get 50% back of their income from those pictures?
As much as I'd love to do that, that's not legally possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise an OnlyFans
Why do you have a problem with
syntax.
women's naked bodies, James?
I don't have
Look at
a.
this
I,
guy.
I, by the way, Piers, you keep talking about women. There are thousands of men on OnlyFans, and this is going to apply just as equally to them. And so you're the one selectively outraged about women. If
That's
you're
a very
man
good
or
point.
a woman,
It's a very good
if you're
point.
a man or a woman producing or consuming this content, and by the way, Piers, what you haven't brought up is that as governor, I would also levy a consumption tax. I'm not going to spare the men in this equation as well. If you're a young man and you're watching pornography, put down the phone, go to church, pray, and find a real God-fearing woman. Society is not going to be dictated.
You Puritan.
Yeah, he's a trad con, guys. You know,
by men and women commodifying and using one another in these ephemeral social relationships. No, it's not transactional sex. It is a romantic experience that is reserved for a man and a woman in the sanctity of marriage.
Okay, well, look, why don't we just bring in Sophie Ray? Just hang on there, Jason, because it can be quite interesting to have you guys talk to each other. So, Sophie, welcome to Uncensored.
guys, I just don't get it. This chick,
So
this chick, like, she's mid at best. Like, what is going on?
He was just the first to do it, I guess. Like, you know, whoever got there first, they catch those guys' eyes. But yeah, I don't see it neither, man. I see the big nose, and that's it, man.
I have a question. Like, if anyone has used the platform,
no.
I was saying, like, or what I'm imagining it is, like, there's like a chat like on the side here, like in YouTube and stuff, and you could say, like, put a super chat in, like put this in your butt or something for, like, I don't know, $150 or something. Is that kind of like how it works?
I don't know.
It's not like the live
like
shows.
like a super chat.
They could do live shows, you know, because they do advertise on there, but it's like rarely used. Like, they don't really do that.
They can do like private stuff with people. They say that the reason why this is so popular is because they build relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys feel like they actually have access to this shit.
Yeah, like Jeffrey that stays in his grandmother's basement that doesn't even go outside to have dates. He can go and see her naked for $10.
Yeah, and then actually reach out to her and say, "Hey, look, if I give you $250, will you talk to me and then take your clothes off?"
And what these idiots don't know is that these chicks are more than likely using agencies, and you got some Filipino man in Southeast Asia that's replying to you.
Yeah, that's true.
or from Colombia. No, don't forget about Colombia or Brazil, because they do that heavy down there too, man.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You have 4.5 million. Well, there are 4.5 million OnlyFans creators. You are, I think, the highest earner. It's claimed that you've made $43 million. You've got 8.5 million Instagram followers, 14 million on TikTok. So you're a massive social media phenomenon. For those who are not familiar with your work, how would you describe it?
Here we go.
Well, I post on many platforms. I post content on Instagram. I post content on TikTok.
Still has that filter.
And all the above. And I also post content on OnlyFans.
Cigarette
And honestly, I do a little bit of everything. I do a little dancing.
I know, right? Yeah, no.
Yes, it does.
That's the vape voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, I guess,
videos.
yes,
I'll post Instagram photos. And then obviously my OnlyFans content.
And would you describe it as pornographic, or what would you describe it as?
I mean, I wouldn't describe it as pornographic, but it's definitely adult content.
Yeah.
She's diddling herself.
Right. And you could tell she had a few BBCs, man. Her throat is like she does not sound like a sweet, normal, white bread chick. No, honey.
She's been on OF for like 2.5 years. Guys, she has like 700,000 miles and like 4 accidents on the Carfax, dude. Straight up.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is just crazy. And I guarantee you, in about 5 to 6 years, some idiot is gonna wipe this product.
Oh yeah,
it'll probably be this guy running for mayor. I mean, for governor, it'll probably end up being him.
Yep. Or guys, how long do you think she's gonna be? That it's gonna take for her to be in the church? You know what I'm saying? Doing her little church tour.
I'll say as soon as she turns 30 or around 35, they're going to have to, because that's when they get spiritual at that moment and say, "Oh, I'm born again. I was young and dumb and stupid." Yeah, we know the big deal.
I think it'll be because she's like 20, 21 now, 20. I give her like 3 more years because the shelf life on OF is so quick, right?
Yeah.
Like once a new crop of 18 to like 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds on there, she's cooked, right? So she's gonna get her exit plan, and she's gonna be in the church, and she's gonna be doing
she'll track on it afterward. Yeah.
Right.
And I think I heard someone throw this number around that only like 1% of the content creators make over $1 million.
Yeah, right.
And at the average, and for the rest of them, the average check is like what, $150 a month.
Yeah, they average like $100. Really. No lie, $100 a month.
That's how much your soul is worth, huh?
Yeah, crazy, it's a very sad time. Very, very, very sad indeed.
And if you're the viewer, does it say? Can it just say like snowboard or Joe or something? Or like how do they know?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
Or I mean, to the chat or anybody.
No.
I don't know.
It goes by your profile name. It goes by your profile name.
I would hope that anyone that subscribes to me is not silly enough.
Absolutely is not. Yeah.
Come on, dude. I mean, really?
I'm more asking. I was just asking anybody because I don't because knowing how that works would mean it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Because snowboard has, and I'm doing air quotes, a friend that's thinking about
Just asking for a friend.
We see how snowboard be handling wood.
Hey, donate the player, hate the game. I will put my pussy on the street if I need to.
What is going on here? What is going on?
Hey man. If snowboarder don't do it, somebody else would.
Look at that.
For sure.
So what do you feel about James Fishback and his plan to tax you 50% as a sin tax for being a sinner?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. Florida already has no income state tax. It doesn't exist. So it seems very selective, and it seems like it's a punishment.
James, are you there, James? Yeah, you are. I mean, Sophie says that that she feels like this is a punishment. Why are you punishing her?
Well, hey, Sophie, good to meet you. It's not a punishment at all. What it is a deterrent. I think Sophie recognizes that our state was better off when young women aspired to be teachers, small business owners, doctors, and lawyers, as opposed to creating adult content. I can respect Sophie Rain as an individual and still respectfully call out that I don't want thousands of young women who are in high school today to feel like the only way they can make a living when they graduate is selling adult content, video, photos of themselves on the internet. And so, Sophie, look, with all due respect, I know you're from Florida. I'm from Florida. We both love our state. I want what's best for you, and I want what's best for every single woman in our state, and that's not to be objectified and exploited by the OnlyFans owners.
Sophie, what's your response to that?
I feel like as adults, we are all able to legally make our own decisions. And I think that we should also educate a lot more on all of these opportunities that you're speaking of, because I just don't think that we should be singling out any individual for what they choose to do.
James?
What are you talking about?
Well, I want to single out drug dealers, Sophie. I want to single out people who are committing crimes in our society. And so as governor, my responsibility is very simple. I want to make sure that there is a path. I'm not going to be one of those Republicans
who's going
to attack
crime.
women.
And it seems to me that your initial assertions before we spoke to Sophie, that she was, that people like her on OnlyFans are enslaved, they're being exploited. And then you do an analogy just now to drugs and whatever, which are illegal, obviously. Nothing she's doing is illegal. It seems to be entirely of her own free will. She's very happy doing it. She's very popular doing it. Under the First Amendment.
Well, have you asked her that, Piers?
Corey says snowboard's a super freak. Super freak. He's super freaky. Yow, right? Thanks for the $2, my friend.
Seriously. Garlic and croutons.
I like them. I like them when they got that sugar foot, so I can
Jesus.
That's usually a B-dub.
Have you asked her if she's happy?
Under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, what business is it of yours to stick your oar in and want 50% of her cash?
No, Piers, did you ask her if she was happy? Because she posted a video 2 weeks ago on International Women's Day where she was interviewing her former self, who looked to be disappointed, who aspired to be, quite literally in Sophie Rain's own words, an astronaut. Sophie, you are smart. I know you. I know your family. You are capable of anything you put your mind to. And so when you're doing this little cute Spider-Man dance online and you're creating this adult content, know that that person that you used to be still wants something.
Wait, hold on.
Guys, wait. He's actually getting to her.
Yeah.
A little bit. Guys, watch her face. Watch.
Thing you put your mind to. And so when you're doing this little cute Spider-Man dance online and you're creating this adult content, know that that person that you used to be still wants something more out of you.
Yeah, he's actually getting to her.
As the governor of the state, want every
guys, he's actually breaking through the Xanax and the Zoloft. You know what I'm saying?
It's also not like you're talking to this like bright light of someone who's going to like program
this
all that.
beacon of virtue. You know what I'm saying? So who was saying something?
But I'm just thinking that, whoa, that was very specific, that he knows this much about her content and what she's posting. Maybe Dow does protest a little too much.
Well, this guy is probably a freak. This hand
politicians are.
He probably has a burner account. No, I'm sorry, Snowboarder, but he probably has a burner account. He's probably a fan of hers, and he got a feet fetish, feet finder site. So I think the man, I think he's a hypocrite, man.
He goes by Foot Daddy 24/7. That's his profile. That's his profile name. Foot Banger 365.
Single woman in Florida to achieve their maximum potential.
Sophie?
I mean, I think just realistically speaking, I'm very happy with where I am, and I promise
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I would have never got to where I am without the platform. Like, I've built businesses outside of this. I am constantly, chasing new dreams and everything. Like, I'm very happy with where I am.
Yeah, Sophie, you come from a devout Christian family, I understand. You grew up.
Really? Really? Her whole congregation, her pastor, all the people that ever gave her communion has failed. Okay?
And
guys, hit the like button, please, guys. Stop and take a second. Hit the like button, guys.
But
I
this
appreciate that.
This is also Piers Morgan. This is where Piers Morgan's kind of good for making an audience and stuff, even though I despise him. But he's like pretending to be like a leftist now. So this is like his leftist type show. Not leftist, but like center left. So like always remember that he's a shill. But he's a troll, but he's good when he wants to be, but ultimately he's a shill.
He's an opportunist.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't care.
Yep.
He has no real value. He's pretending to have values about this when his wife he's like a cuck to his wife.
Yeah,
and
his
stuff.
wife's
He's lived the degeneracy that he's now trying to say isn't there.
Yeah, well, he is in the files, so
he's a shill too.
Family didn't have much money. Relied on food stamps as a child. You were working as a waitress. You then went on OnlyFans. You said you got fired from your restaurant job and your boss discovered the account and so on. And now obviously you've become incredibly successful and rich doing this. What do your family make of your transition into this world?
They're actually very supportive of me. Definitely at first, they didn't really understand it and they were cautious of it. But I sat them down and I talked them through everything. I'm being safe. I'm doing everything legal. Like I'm good, and they're very supportive of where I am.
Are you genuinely happy?
I am. I would have never. I own my own house. I like who at 21 can say that. Like this has gave me so much autonomy over my life, and I'm just so grateful for the platform.
I'm just saying, guys, like she's better off doing this than having gone the way of the chicks in the last 20, 30, 40 years of this industry, right? Like she's sitting. If she was this popular and she was doing the old school style, guys, she would barely make money. Guys, the dumbest people on planet Earth are those that are famous but not rich. That's the dumbest thing you can ever be.
Right.
How are you going to be famous? Have everyone knows who you are, but you ain't got no money in the bank.
Sounds like these rappers.
Yeah. A lot of them sign these deals, and their all their money's getting taken. So.
Because I wouldn't have been here, especially in today's economy.
Especially,
I mean, James Fishback. I'm thinking of say the Kardashians, people like that, right? They're always stripping off, and they're making millions, billions actually as a family from their bodies predominantly. They don't have any other discernible real talent. It's just stripping off and being, in the media, and it's been very successful. Does your sin tax apply to them?
The sin tax applies to adult content on the internet, whether it's OnlyFans or any other platform. Piers, let me just ask Sophie a question. Sophie, if the number of women doing OnlyFans tripled in Florida tomorrow, would that be a good or a bad thing?
I think honestly, it would be a great thing. A lot of women are trying to find different ways to make.
Look at that, guys. You see? Absolute demon.
Game over. Game over.
Absolute demon. Guys, what a joke.
Make more income in a, heavily damaged economy. So I think that there should be those opportunities out there for these women to make an income.
Do you hear, Sophie? Let me ask Sophie a
Sophie and I
that.
both agree. We both agree that the economy is badly damaged. I proudly voted for President Trump, Piers, in 2024. And I have to tell you that I am not proud of the work that he has done. We are not living in a golden age whatsoever. People in my state are struggling.
Yeah, but guys, can you imagine if Knucklehead Harris would have got in there?
Oh, yeah. We would have been invaded already.
We would put a 1 if you agree that we look just like the UK, or at least like Canada, at least. we'd be completely cooked. You can say anything you want about Orange Man, even if you're not a fan of his. You can say every single negative thing you want, but there's no way that things could ever be as bad as if Knucklehead Harris got in there.
Right. We would have had like 5 million more illegal immigrants, and you would have been like, it would have been crazy. Just imagine all the stuff you see now times 5.
Samurai, you know why they didn't have a primary? They didn't have a primary on the Democrat side, right?
Right, because they pushed her through.
But why? Do you know why?
I want to say to continue the work that Biden doing is like, it was basically like Obama 2.0.
No, simple. When people were donating all those campaign funds, when they set up the donation, it was to Biden and Harris. Okay. So they had a war chest with hundreds of millions of dollars. If they would have gone with someone else, guess what? They would have had to give that money back. Legally, they could not keep the money. So they had to push her through the entire process of how we democratically decide who's going to run for office.
That goes to show you that the system is broken. The system is broken. Once the system is rigged and the money's in play, it's game over. Like that's not real politics. Real politics is someone who has the I guess the minds and the hearts of the people that stands with the country, and that makes the country stronger. Money doesn't make the country stronger. I'm sorry.
It does for the individuals, for us. Because I would say, what would the Asians do? Guys, if you hang out with like a whole bunch of Asians, right? You realize Asians don't really care about politics. Why? Because they have money. I lived in Seattle, guys. My Chinese friends, Korean friends, they're not out there marching because they have money.
Right.
Businesses, they have investments. They will be just fine. Money is a good buffer to all the political foolishness. And also, if you're getting money like the Asians, guys, you don't have time to worry about the Transformers and the Palestine because they're working. Because how many times have you seen? This is the craziest part about black women and white women. Because put a 1 if you have a neighborhood Chinese place you go to. You know what I'm saying? It's a mom and pop place. You go there, order your General Tso's combo with some
yellow rice and an egg roll.
Black Samurai, who works there?
All Chinese, man.
No.
Family.
The family.
The husband and the wife work there.
Right.
You have B-dubs and white chicks saying, I don't want to work. Guys, these people will go there at 4 a.m, prep everything, right? They'll open at like 9 and 10, whatever, because some people start ordering lunch around 10, and they work until midnight. They're open till like midnight. The mom and the dad both work there. The husband and the wife.
I know one spot because I live here in Buffalo. That's all what people do here is eat all. Listen. We're just on chicken wing.
There's a lot of snow up there.
Right. But I seen a spot where the husband and wife pass it on to their son and his wife and kids. Pass it on to his kids, and it's like crazy. I've been there for like almost 40 years.
Yep. The wife wants to work, and the husband, they put their efforts. And guys, this is why, guys, the whole 40-hour work week. If you're not married with kids, guys, and even if you are, you should be working at least 60 hours a week that you're getting paid for, especially if you're young. Anywhere from 18 to about 39, 40, you should be working at least 60 hours a week that you're getting paid for. And you will have a bunch of money to invest, But guys, the people outside the West, there is no 40-hour work week. You ask a Cuban, a Venezuelan, a Chinese, a Vietnamese immigrant what a 40-hour work week is? Like 40-hour work week? What are you talking about? So, guys, work a lot. You will be fine. You know, my point is that that's how these Asians get money. Guys, if you're not working, you could end up spending money, right? But these families pour everything into their business. They end up building, you know. And guys, we all know this. I would say that Chinese places aren't as bad as Jamaican places as far as customer service.
Well.
No, but like Jamaican places, the island, their food is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the customer service. You walk in there, there's like no one behind the counter.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hello.
There was one place that was in Manchester that was called Caribbean Affair, and it was like some of the best food that I ever had.
Yeah,
but the service was like trash. I had to like do like their job like for them almost. Or
and
I like so like it was better just to get it to go, but we would just plan like
or they're just like
we're
not gonna make
give like
anymore,
a 20-minute gap.
Are you gonna have any more
exactly like that? But the food
chicken?
was
And they're like, no.
amazing.
You're like, wait, what? But the Chinese restaurants, they're quick and fast, but they're not like, hi, how are you? They're like, here, what's your order? Boom, get out. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine because the food's good. So
under the weight of this affordability crisis, and Sophie, Rain, and I see eye to eye that this economy is hurting a lot of people. I think that where we disagree is that the economy hurts people, and Sophie Rain wants to say, let's get them to join OnlyFans. And what I say is, let's get new job training, especially for women. Let's create new pathways, new opportunities at our public universities, career technical school. Let's create a statewide internship program for anyone under the age of 25 to get a great paying job that will teach them new skills in the 21st century. So Sophie, you and I see eye to eye where we, I think, disagree is the solution. When you say that tripling the number of OnlyFans creators is a good thing, that speaks to the damage of the economy. What I want to do is create a real economy that allows people like those women to do something dignified.
Or you're missing, maybe you're missing.
Them.
Yeah, but James, I mean, you keep talking for Sophie, I've noticed. Right? I think you should let her speak for herself, not least because she's worth $43 million. But the point I would make is, what about, the argument that women are empowered to make their own decisions about their own bodies, their own choices?
That's fine. So let me ask you a question, Piers. If a woman is empowered to make their own decision about their own body, and a woman struggles to pay the rent, do we then encourage that woman to sell one of her kidneys to pay the rent and say it was her own decision? No,
she's not selling her kidney.
Women.
She's not selling her kidney.
Hold on. But where do you draw the line, Piers? She is imperiling her future as a mom, as a worker. You just heard Sophie say
how is she
was
imperiling her future as a mother? I don't get that.
Piers,
how does she imperil her future as a mother?
Well, let me tell you how. You just heard Sophie tell you that she was fired from her job when her boss found out her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She was fired from her job.
Yeah.
And now, with all due respect to Sophie, what are you going to tell your daughter in 10 or 15 years when all of these images are all over the internet and your daughter is being bullied in middle school and was told that you guys were Christians? With all due respect, what do you say then? It creates a real weight, a real tension between...
And he is right, guys. There was a couple TikToks where chicks were like, I was spreading it out on friggin' cam stuff, and my son's friends found it. It's crazy. Like, man, here's the thing. Kids can be mean. Guys. Kids should be mean. We wouldn't have half the dunderheads and zesty fools we have going on now if we were bullying people the same way we did back in the 80s and the 90s,
A mom and her children, and of course, a worker and her employer. I don't want to encourage women to go on OnlyFans and then get fired from their job and then have a real fight at home about what mommy did on the internet last week.
Okay, Sophie?
I mean, I'm only 21. I haven't even thought about having kids yet. But I think that the main discussion here is sin tax. And like in the state of Florida, there's already no income tax. So, and that's also one of the main identities of Florida, is that it is a no income state tax. And I think the main issue here is you're attacking women already on the site making money.
What I said,
and there's
men as
multiple. Exactly. There's multiple people on the site, and not everyone does adult content. OnlyFans is a massive platform, and you can do anything on there. Not everything is adult content based.
Well, I think to be fair to him, Sophie, he's not saying that everyone on OnlyFans should get the sin tax. He's just saying the people that he considers to be sinful should get a tax, and you're one of them. He thinks you're a sinner. What do you say to that?
Oh,
Well,
come
syntax is he's
Okay,
proposing
cuck.
that is going to attack everyone.
Say again?
I said, okay, cuck.
Yeah.
That Piers Morgan, like remember guys, somebody came to like wash his wife's car and like,
Yep.
like you can't just take him serious anymore. Even
Yeah.
just not because of that, just anything else. Like he's just, look at him. He's a little rat. Look at his rat face right now. He's like sithering.
Plus, she said something that was very telling. She hasn't thought that far. Like, I'm 21. I haven't thought that far. You know, in regards to her having children. That's the
age.
problem.
That's the age where she should be getting a husband.
But
or be married by now.
But the point is, how can you fight for a future, or how can you believe in a future when you don't think about it past today, tomorrow, or next week? These women are living for a lot of people are living for today, and they're not thinking about or planning for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what they don't realize is that a lot of times with this fast money, it just creates slow problems. And she's in the rare minority. So she's a multimillionaire for showing her butthole. Oh well, it is what it is. But the fact is, the overwhelming majority of women are going to be
making
in
like
a situation, and going to be in a situation where their kids, because the internet never forgets.
Yeah.
Hey, Secret, check this out though. Check this out, because if she was making $100 a month, guarantee you she wouldn't be saying, "Oh, I would rather do this," and I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe her on that end of it. But check this out. You got ladies that's your grandmother's age trying to get on OnlyFans and their underwear, trying to get money.
Guys, I need you to say OF and not the actual.
Oh, I'm sorry, on OF. Yeah, on OF, trying to make money. Come on, 60 in their 70s. I'm like, come on, it's getting to the point where it's crazy now.
Yeah, because what a joke. And here's the thing: you guys ever notice? Everyone, unmute, please. You guys ever notice that when we argue about men and men's experiences in dating, we argue from the average man's experience? But when women try and debate, they always act like they look like Rihanna. There's some lawyer making $300,000-$400,000 a year, that they're a top 1% Wonder Woman super chick. It's like, whereas us guys are saying, look, all of us on this panel, all of us in this chat, we're successful guys. But we're not much better than a regular dude making $55,000 a year. We argue for that guy. That's who we're trying to show up for. But these chicks, well, we're the one buying houses. We're the one making tons of money. It's like, what? Only 6% of chicks earn 6 figures or more. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who are all these women out there that are just, and Lord knows what percentage of chicks are actually 6s and above. Based on weight alone, you can say maybe the top, being like a 6 in America puts you in like a top less than 20% based on weight alone. So you're talking about a hot chick that earns money. You're talking about what, like a 10%, 5% chick, and most of these chicks that try and claim that they're that are not it.
Right. They're not there at all. They're far from it. They're probably like 7s or 6s at best. But to me, it's like I blame the simps, man. I blame the tricks that's on there giving these women money and pushing this, because they think not every woman can go on there and think they can do it. And it's not. It's only 1%.
Yeah.
On the OnlyFans site. So does that include all
Can
of
we just take that
the
farther?
cooks on there that are
Because,
just
say again?
We'll take that farther, because it's also like they're showing everything for like really like a couple $1,000s at most.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's out like on the internet. It like could be used to black. I'm just saying, like, a lot of them really didn't. What they gave up for that amount of money was just kind of like.
Right, because just imagine if she has a son and goes through school and the friends will pull up her porn and at the bathroom will pull it up, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They bully them, and it's like get to the point where the family's gonna take a hit because your image and likeness is all over the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
selling their
No, it doesn't,
recipes.
Sophie. No, it doesn't.
So how do
Sophie,
you
please
single
don't
out?
be disingenuous.
How do you work
you
out
single
who's
it
a
out
sinner
very
and who's
simply.
not, James? Are you going to be launching a sin purge? How are you going to do this?
Well, we're going to put you in charge of it, Piers. And so
I
the
have
way
a
you do
very
it
broad
is.
mind, James. I think if
I know,
people are obeying the law, they can do what they like with their own lives. What's it got to do
Well,
with you?
you know what? So what do you say then? Because prior to slavery being illegal, they were obeying their law. They owned 100 black people. Does that make it okay? Of course not. Let me get to the very specific point that I think
Why
Sophie
do you
made
think
in good
she's
faith.
a slave? You have of all the
But,
arguments you've used. Look,
that's
some
called
of the
an
points you've
analogy.
made. Some of the points
That's
you've
called
made
an
have validity.
analogy.
But this
Piers.
idea that somehow
He doesn't even know what an analogy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, Samurai, Secret. I need you, Tim Hicks, Rajai. Okay, everyone black who's in this chat or on this panel, I need you to sound off. This is why I can't be in predominantly black basis. How many times have you had a heated conversation with a black person, and then you try and use an analogy, and it just goes right over their head. You're like,
yeah. They don't have no imagination.
Here, this is
that
just
happens.
This is just like in baseball. When the pitcher was like, why are we talk about baseball? You gotta stay on this. Like, I'm using an analogy, you goof. I'm trying to make you understand by using an analogy. You need to stay on topic. Now you're trying to duck. Now you're trying to hide. You're scared. You're done. Like, I'm using an analogy. You some dumb. Oh, all the time. Samurai, Secret. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying, man.
I never heard of that.
It's like arguing with the Neanderthal or caveman or something. Like, yeah.
We're all over the place.
I call that. That's sometimes what I call Tylenol brain.
Yeah, it's just simple-minded thinking, and that's why there's prominently black platforms where you lose brain cells by trying to watch them. It's like you guys don't understand. You don't understand simple debates. You don't understand fallacies like logical fallacies. You don't understand like how to make a logical argument and then respond. And how many you guys know the thing that irks me the most? Samurai and Secret, the thing that irks me the most. Secret doesn't do this. Samurai doesn't do this, which is awesome. Have you ever been on a panel or watched a panel and a lot of, I would say it's 50-50 black men, black women feel the need to monologue.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Right. All day long.
I'm up on a panel and just talk and talk and talk. And if you try and cut it, whoa, you can't cut me off, bro. Cut me off? Why you can't cut me off, bro? You're scared of my argument. It's like, you're not making an argument. You're just yakking your big trap. Bro, this is a dialogue. Even that one chick who called in 2 weeks ago, I had to cut her off. And she's like, what are you doing? No, guys, this is a dialogue, not a monologue. And guys, that's one thing. Like, modern women do this fine, but it's very prevalent in our community. You know what I'm saying? And it just drives me nuts. People want to get on and just hear themselves talk and talk and talk and talk. Yes, there's a couple things. Okay.
Especially when it's not their platform.
Yes,
too.
Right.
If Samurai and I are debating Ford versus Chevy, right? And I go, well, actually, the Mustang, this. He goes, hold on, like 9 times out of 10, if Samurai is in good faith, he's gonna stop me because he has to address one of my points at a time. I cannot sit there and make 17 points back to back and reasonably expect him to actually address them all.
Right. I blame single motherhood because they have to live in a house where their mothers is mouthing off all day and they can't say anything back or they're going to get popped.
Yeah.
So true. I blame that type of, most of these people come from single mother households. So that's why I think that goes on in the African American community.
Yeah. And guys, can I ask you guys this, if you agree with me? And guys, put a yes or a no. Men, when we speak, you notice how when Secret speaks, when Samurai speaks, when I speak, when Colin speaks, we're very direct, right? Like, yes, I can be kind of wordy, but when we're having talking points, we're very direct. Women are not. They meander all over the place. men are talking like this more because they're raised by women. Because they're raised by women, so they emote like women, they talk like women, right? They argue like
I never
women.
thought of that.
Yeah, and think that if you are being direct, that you're being disrespectful. I still can't believe to this day that women thought Kevin Samuels was somehow rude or mean. He was the nicest person. Like he's not like Fresh and Fit where he's yelling, cussing. He was just direct. He was very direct. And somehow everyone, he was a misogynist, please.
Yeah, and it's a show. It's not to like for them to just hang out and call in and be on a live like call, because I think that sometimes they would do that too.
Yeah.
But I went on that guy Game Changers channel one time, and there was like a B-dub in there just taking up the whole show basically. I don't know if he was I think he just was letting her talk on purpose to kind of follow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And of
course, it just ended up diverting stuff and like kind of taking over the whole show. But
there's a cultural context here, and that there's one thing B-dubs don't like is like, and we've seen this on panels where there'll be like 6-7 black men and like 2 B-dubs, right? And the men will actually be on the same page and actually having a good discussion. And what does one B-dub do? Because they can't stand us men all getting along. All of a sudden it's, I'm going to kill your bitch ass, bitch. Just disrespectful. And then when someone checks her, all of a sudden there's that 1 or 2 white knights in the damn panel.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Insane.
Yeah, because I was making them laugh, so they thought that I was cool, but they were trying to then get me. She just, I don't know why she was doing it, but it messed the whole thing up. Yeah. Well, no, because they said like, and then another guy came on, like they came on a panel that I was already talking on and stuff with other people and everything is fine. But they come on like, well, I'm not talking to this white guy over here. So like, then why did you come on like a panel then that was already like working like fine? I don't know. It was just kind of like funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, a woman is the thing that interrupted the whole thing.
Yep.
And babbled the entire, exactly the way that you just said it too, in that like formula.
Yeah. Yep.
Some sort of slave. I'm just not buying that.
Look, Sophie may not be a slave. She hasn't made $43 million. Don't lowball her. She's made over $100 million. When I talk to young women in our state,
is that right, Sophie?
That is correct. Yes.
You've made over $100 million.
In a span of
Sophie,
2 years. Yes.
Sophie, if you want to be my running bait and be the lieutenant governor of Florida, it'll cost you $10 million. You'd be happy to do it. I'd be honored to have you.
Sophie?
No, I don't think so.
You just got to quit.
Out of interest, Sophie, I have to say, I mean this with no disrespect, but I'm not aware. I haven't viewed your work. What is it that makes you say?
I think that I'm just very transparent with my audience. I'm never over here encouraging people to try and join the site. I'm very clear on the pros and cons of it also, but I'm just very transparent.
So then hold on, what are the cons? Then what are the cons? What is the con? Let's be transparent. What is the con of joining?
I mean, exactly like you said, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that OnlyFans is a great site. Some of the points you are making are correct. Like, you know, It's damaging to the future. And I want people to understand and educate themselves, but women still should be able to make that decision for themselves at the end of the day. And they shouldn't have to worry about
I'm raising a tax to disincentivize and deter it. I'm not banning it.
She doesn't under those.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That is what he's doing. Sophie, if you had a daughter, would you want her to do what you're doing?
I mean, I would let her decide. It's up to her decision.
But do you think as a mother you would want that?
I think that I would be supportive of it no matter what. Yes.
Sophie, would you be supportive of your son selling crack cocaine?
No, that is illegal.
Right. Okay, so why, what is this difference between legal and illegal? Why can't we just say it's moral or immoral?
Because one's legal and one's not.
Because then where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? A lot of people have different opinions.
In Afghanistan, you can marry an 8-year-old. It is quite literally legal in Afghanistan to marry an 8-year-old. And so does that make it right, Sophie?
We don't live in Afghanistan.
Right. See? I mean, he is making a pretty good point, right? He's arguing morality. Yeah. But here's the thing, guys. Once again, morality and legality are two different things.
Yeah.
Okay. There's plenty of things that are immoral, that are legal, and plenty and vice versa. Guys, killing is legal. right? I think killing people, taking a human life is immoral. There's no moral reason to do it, but it can be necessary.
Right.
Even in self-defense, I think it's immoral, but it's necessary.
It's called justifiable homicide.
And it's legal. There's different levels. Our legal system has different levels. We have murder. We have premeditated. We have manslaughter. We have a negligent manslaughter. I mean, whatever. So even though I believe it's immoral, right? There's no moral reason to do said thing, but it's necessary. That's two different things, and it's legal, which is another thing. Right. And that's what the law does. It says, was it necessary? And what was the intent? The intent is what matters more than anything else. There are lots of wokey wokes who say impact trumps intent. And that's the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's the stupidest thing. That's such a woman thing to say. Impact trumps intent. So if you were joking and you meant it as a joke and the person's offended, then you're cooked. It's like, that'd be like, because then that would mean that like murder, manslaughter doesn't matter because the person just ended up dead. It's like, but did the person jump out in front of your car? Was there accidentally peanuts in the brownie and the big B-dub was allergic to freaking peanuts and ate it and died? I mean, it matters. It matters.
Yeah.
So, but see, Milbard, per my personal belief, I think any taking of a human life is immoral. To me, that's my personal belief, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not necessary. It doesn't mean that it's not legal.
But being the 304, I'm starting to cut you off.
But to me, per my personal belief, I believe that it is immoral to take human life. That's just me. Now, does that mean that if someone breaks into my house, I won't shoot him? No. What I'm saying is I have yet to hear a moral reason to do so, like to take a human life. Necessity does not breed morality. Okay? It can help, obviously, but anyways.
And her like hashtags are immoral oral.
Right.
That's the only morals that she knows.
And I'm like, this Puritan is trying to like give her a confess, but she's already passed that line already. It's like she doesn't even care.
Yeah,
but when the guy said it's a deterrent and something else, I forget the other word that he said. She didn't know what those two words were. I think to understand the mechanism. He's just trying to make like a filter, basically.
Yeah,
but he got too fancy to talk. You have to talk to her like a Disney adult, kind of.
Yeah. Let's see here, guys. We'll only go on for like another couple minutes, and I gotta.
What are you talking about?
All right, I'm gonna make a live stream
analogy
after you.
It's an
I know,
analogy.
but the
It's a
analogy, it
ridiculous
doesn't make sense
analogy.
in
You're
this
choosing a
term.
country
In
with
this
totally
situation,
different
it doesn't
laws.
make sense.
In the United States of America, Sophie Rain.
Prior to slavery being
obeys the same
illegal,
laws that you do, James.
No, Piers. Prior to slavery being illegal, would you have opposed slavery because it was legal? It was legal, Piers. It's okay if it's legal, right?
Sophie?
He asked you. Me? Oh, guys, that Zoloft is kicking in, guys. She's not. She's probably on some opioids. You know what I mean? She was smoking them perks. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't know any better.
I mean, I didn't live back then. I'm just here to talk about what we are here to talk about, which is syntax, and it's a selective.
Of course you didn't live back then, Sophie. Of course you didn't. This is my issue. I'm here to have a good faith conversation.
And this chick's worth $100 million, guys. Isn't that scary?
That's scary, bro.
A current former resident, a current Florida resident. And my point to Sophie is this: is if you want to keep doing this, then we're going to take 50% of what you earn and we're going to use it to raise public school teacher pay. Our public school teachers are not getting paid enough. We're going to use this as a resource to fund the empowerment of young women who have signed up to do something dignified, with all due respect, unlike you, and be a public school teacher, educating, inspiring, and motivating.
Do you know what, James? You know what? Here's what I would say. I've got to end this debate. Here's what I would say. I've listened to both of you, and you both made good points. But honestly, that last statement you made was so pompous and patronizing. Honestly, who are you to be the great moral arbiter of what young women do with themselves legally in the United States? Who are you to say if you become governor, you're
Have
going
a
to
nice night, guys. I'm going to go and I'm going to
in a state where they don't have
too.
even state income tax?
See ya.
It's like there's a real arrogance to this, that you've decided you are the moral arbiter of every Floridian. And it may be why you're trailing so badly in the polls. And Sophie, the good news for you is don't worry about it because he's not going to win. So you're not going to end up giving Mr. Fishback any money for his plans, much as it would be great to put more money into teachers in public schools. Of course it would be. But it won't be coming from you, Sophie Rain, because he ain't going to win.
Well, if I'm not going to win, Sophie Rain can put a $5 million bet on Poly Market tonight that I'm not going to win. She'll make a lot of money. What I will tell you, Piers, is the same arrogance, the same arrogance.
Sophie doesn't need the money, but I might do that so that I can become as wealthy as Sophie Rain.
The same arrogance that said that Donald Trump could never win, that Zohran Mamdani could never win. Why don't you come to Florida and come to one of our rallies where we're drawing crowds larger than anyone else in this race?
Let me tell you, I was the lone voice in the UK who confidently predicted Donald Trump would win in 2016. And you know why I knew he'd win? Because I'd been down interviewing serial killers in Florida, and I could feel the Trump train surging and the Hillary train hitting the buffers. So my political instincts are very good. And I'm afraid the way the polls look at the moment, James Fishback, to quote my favorite phrase, you have two hopes, no hope and Bob hope. But miracles can happen in politics, and I wish you all the best. Sophie Rain, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I wish you continued success. I think women should better do what they want with themselves.
Guys, what do you think?
To me, I don't think, taxing OF people, is reaching the Puritan type of style of politics. This guy's dead in the water. But then eventually the government is going to go reach in your pockets, bro. The government is going to go broke, and the first place they're going to go is towards the middle class and, everybody else. So, all I got to say is, pony up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either that or we go back in the days of the Soviets with the secret police kicking your car down and just taking everything and confiscating everything for the sake of the state.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, they're coming these student loans, right? They're coming for that OF money,
And there's nothing you can do about it. So at the end of the day, I tell people, live within your means, because there's a lot of people out there living on credit. Like, good to have credit, but if you have to use it, use it. You got people that's getting everything they want. It's between wants and needs. See, I'm an accountant, so to me, I look at money kind of differently, and I try to educate the normal everyday person like her. This person here. I guarantee you, she hires someone to do her finances.
Well, I mean, hold on, wait. But there's nothing wrong with that. She's worth over $100 million. I mean, come on.
Right.
I mean, and here's the thing: you make a mistake and you're cooked. If a finance agency or what is it? A financial advisor makes a mistake, you can sue them. Like, look, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You I like that insurance. Like, I know when to hire people who are smarter than me, and also someone that there's a lot of things that I can do. I can tear my car engine apart, but if I mess it up, I don't have a car, I'm cooked. If I take it to the dealership, they mess it up. There's less chance of getting messed up, but I can sue them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I'm saying is when you're playing with big boy money, you don't want to just use TurboTax and Excel spreadsheet.
Right. Well, I get what you're saying. It's just that to me, it's like selling a dream that the everyday person could be a 1%er on OF.
Yeah.
And, you're selling a dream, and it's not going to happen in reality. And you want to do the math, crunch the statistics, you end up getting like winning the lottery, holding a 4-leaf clover, getting hit by a meteor.
But
so at the end of the day, you got to think practical.
About that though. It's about the fact that these chicks, I mean, look, you remember with Kevin Samuels, they were trying to sell these chicks the dream. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to say that you can do whatever you want and And you know, and there's gonna be some dude out there.
But Kevin Samuels was the mirror. He was holding up the mirror to them, and they was looking at themselves, and it wasn't fun.
But what I'm saying is that if they will sell that about something like marriage, of course they're going to sell that about OF and other things.
I got you.
Women
I got you.
Are delusional AF. You know what I'm saying? And guys, here's the best part about society. No one's going to stop them from screwing their lives up.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've been trying to tell my sister. I don't talk to her anymore, but I was like, your neighbors are going to have to call the cops because of the smell, because you're going to die alone in your house with no one there, with no one who gives a damn. And your corpse is going to break down and the neighbors are going to have to complain about the smell. And here's the thing. No one's going to stop. Society's not going to stop.
Right. Going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys, I'll set this down, guys. I'll raid you over to Snowboard's channel. Guys, tomorrow, Samurai. Can you be on the panel tomorrow? Secret Samurai?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
We're going to talk about the squirrelers, the B-dubs who want you white guys. All you white guys. All these B-dubs want you guys. Oh, no. They don't want Samurai and me and Secret. Oh, no.
No.
You guys are the trophy. You guys are the prize. They want you.
And it's so much evidence. AJ, it's so much evidence you could pull. It's not like, bro, you could have many segments. Yeah. And I can give examples too, bro.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, you'll have one of these 600-pound B-dubs waiting for you at the foot of the bed.
Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread.
All right, you guys, take it easy, all right?
All right, take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.